Live from the Eat My Catfish studios, it's time for Arkansas's #1 collar-driven sports show. It's Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network with your hosts, Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaeffer. Lock it in and get ready to dial us up. Drive Time Sports is on the air.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaeffer standing by in Northwest Arkansas. I'm Randy Rainwater from the capital city. I normally would go into a prolonged good afternoon, Mr. Rick Schaeffer, but we got an important person.
That's right.
That's waiting. So let's cut through all that and go right to the hotline. And there is the coach, the new coach of the Arkansas football Razorbacks, Ryan Silverfield. Coach, first of all, congratulations on becoming the head football coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks, and we'll welcome you to Little Rock. I know you've already had your opportunity to talk to Northwest Arkansas and Fayetteville. Oh yeah, there was another program on this station that I think you talked to on Monday, but we won't talk about them. But Coach, good afternoon. Welcome to Drive Time Sports.
Man, couldn't be thrilled to join you guys. I love the city of Little Rock. It's been a great place. Been through there many times. Had a lot of success recruiting that area, but even better to be talking to you guys this afternoon.
Well, one of us is in Northwest Arkansas. I had a chance to shake your hand this afternoon, and we're glad you're here in Northwest Arkansas. Coach, first thing is you had two players sitting there. That had to be a real relief to you to know that your best defensive player and a guy that could be a starting quarterback are coming back next year. Is that a good place to start?
Well, listen, I think it always starts with the guys in the program, the guys in the locker room. Really appreciate them being there and showing their support. But I think that's important. I had the opportunity to meet with every scholarship football player on this roster, look them in the eye, have great conversations, talk to them about their beliefs, talk to them about my beliefs. And the fact that these guys that are important pieces of what we want to do moving forward came out and said that they're all in such a public forum is absolutely huge.
Coach, you also, in fact, this is barely 24 hours after the early signing period opened up for high school players. And you talked a lot about that today, being the cornerstone, the building stone, if you will, of your program. Talk about what so far has transpired in this early signing period for the high school players and how you feel like so far you've done. And I know you talked today, there could be still some possibilities of some others, but talk about this incoming class that you've got.
Yeah, look, we couldn't be more thrilled with all those guys. I think it's a tremendous class. You think about what we're able to do, bring in 17 guys, and at the end of the day, ideally I want to bring in more, but that's the way it works. For next year, we'll have a full year of study on these guys and a full staff pouring into it. But you think about it, you get Danny Beal, the #1 rated player in the entire state. To flip his commitment and stay home is huge. You get other guys that decide to flip their commitment to staying home is huge. And then so many of these other guys have been a part of what we want to do moving forward. The future is very, very bright here in Fayetteville.
You coached right across the river from the state of Arkansas. The Hogs have let some guys get away from the state. How important is it to you to not only get this group of 4, but the best players in Arkansas every year?
Well, it's huge. But listen, there's so much great talent. The high school coaching in this area is phenomenal. And the whole state, let's keep them here. There's going to be plenty of good players in many years to come. And it is important. And what I love about this thing is, it's not just the university. The whole state is behind this place and couldn't be more thrilled to continue to add guys from this wonderful place.
Are there other geographic areas that are prime areas that you want to recruit outside of Arkansas?
Oh, for sure. I think, look what's within the drive range, right? What's within 5-6 hours. We're going to do great in the state of Texas. We're going to do great in the state of Alabama. We're going to do great in the state of Tennessee. We're going to do great in the state of Georgia. We're going to hit up Louisiana a little bit. We're going to go up to Missouri and take their best players. I think that's all part of it. Oklahoma, anywhere in between. So many people are going to be attracted to wanting to come to Arkansas and be a part of what we're building. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal.
That's a pretty bold statement. You said you're going to take their best players. You're going to go to the other states and get their best players?
That's the key. There's going to be the right fit, the best players we can find anywhere. Let me tell you something. A lot of people are dying to be Razorbacks right now.
That's great news.
That's great to hear.
Coach, the biggest issue, it seems like, when you're going into a program such as Arkansas, the first thing you need to change is the culture. What do you plan on doing about changing the culture that has been established somewhat here at Arkansas?
Yeah, it starts with setting the standard, right? Like, hey, this is how we're going to do things. We can't deviate from that standard ever, and we're going to do it day in and day out. And it's going to start with the players in the locker room, the way we hold them accountable. And you can't just talk about it, you got to be about it. And our players understand that. And it starts with the way we're going to serve them, right, through structure, standards, and accountability. And that ultimately creates a wonderful culture.
Now, you're a coach, but you made a statement over and over again that sounds like a businessman. You got to earn it. You got to earn it. You got to earn it. Where'd you come up with that?
Well, listen, I think it's all part of it. I think any successful person knows that hard work and dedication, usually good things come, and you're never promised anything. So I don't care if you're the head football coach at Arkansas, all right, or you're pumping gas in El Dorado, or if you're, selling boats down in Key West, right? You got to earn it every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, I'm getting this question as much from our audience as any, so I'll kind of sprinkle it in with my own thoughts as well. But you're in the process also not of building just a roster, but also a staff. And folks are wanting to know, you don't have to give us names unless you want to at this particular point, but timelines. People, they get really nervous. They want things now. So if you can kind of lay out the timeline as you see maybe the announcing of the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator, and so forth and so on.
Yeah, I think we're going to start hearing some of these names officially probably within the next few days, few weeks. I mean, it's all going to come together before you know it. It's taking time to make sure we bring in the right fit for us and what we want. And I think when it all comes together, the Razorback Nation will be quite pleased.
We're assuming you got a head start on the transfer portal when you were coaching at Memphis. You're already looking at future players. How much has that helped you, and how much scrutiny are you going to give to players that might be in the transfer portal over the next 3 or 4 weeks?
Well, the portal's not officially open. I mean, there's very minimal players that are actually in there. People have announced their intentions. But through NCAA rules, we can't contact those people. You can take a look at those people they have announced and then ultimately see what happens. But right now my focus is totally on putting together staff and continue to get to know this current roster.
Coach, another question that came up today was your involvement into the community. I know you talked about the veterans, and there were some other things you talked about, Children's Hospital. One thing you didn't mention, and that was you're big into animal rescue. I saw you at the rescue in a picture. Rick and I are both big
dog lovers.
Dog lovers, yes. I didn't realize you were that into animal rescue as well.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, you guys are people after my heart. I think that's huge. I got 2 rescue dogs of my own. I assume there's some nice shelters here in Northwest Arkansas throughout the state, and anything I can do to help support them, I certainly will. But I am an animal lover, and I always say this: if you don't like dogs, it's hard for me to like you very much. So I love the dogs. I love the hogs.
Well, I can't tell you how many dogs that I have, but I will tell you every dog that we have in our home is a rescue, and they all have a story behind them.
He's got as many dogs as you got recruits in the last few days.
That's only a joke, Coach. I don't want the city of Little Rock to come after me for a code violation. Your offensive philosophy, and when you were talking today, you were talking, it's not really going to be a hurry up. It's not going to be the air raid. If you would just kind of break down your offensive philosophy.
Yeah, listen, I think part of it is, I don't like to use the word complementary football, but that's part of it. We're going to be very efficient. I think the best thing we can do is put the quarterback in situations where we're not making critical errors. And, make sure when we hand the ball off, we got the right number count, and we throw the ball, we're making our reads and being able to protect. I think that's all part of it. I think a lot of coaches sit there and say it's got to be this and that way and that. Now, what ultimately fits our players and what's the best way to resume moving forward. But listen, the proof's in the pudding. We've been very fortunate to have a successful offense over the years, and I think that's going to continue here at Arkansas.
Is that kind of the same philosophy you're going to use defensively?
Well, I think like every head coach is going to sit there and tell you we're going to attack, we're going to be aggressive. I do know this, right? We're going to find a variety of different ways to affect the quarterback. We've got a lot of things we need to work on, and everybody always thinks that pass defense is just the defensive backs. It's not just them. It's up front. It's the way we call plays. It's the linebackers. It's all hands on deck. But we'll put together a great defensive team that fits the personnel as well.
So since Hunter Yurachek said his first contact with you is in October, I'm guessing you watched Arkansas's progress through the year, and you probably realize had it not been for turnovers, you wouldn't be at the University of Arkansas. You did address the turnover margin today. How can you fix this problem that has plagued the Razorbacks?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the turnovers is something you can't just address on a press conference on December 4th, 2025. Turnovers is something you need to address every single day, 365 days a year. It's kind of like shaving. If you don't do it every day, you're going to look like a bum. So we're going to address it. We'll talk about taking care of we're going to take care of the football the right way, and we're going to preach getting takeaways. So we're going to address it. We're going to practice it. We're going to preach it. We're going to tattoo it on our bodies, and it's going to be part of who we are.
I'm assuming, since you had a good meeting with KJ Jackson and he's coming back, I'm assuming you've already talked to him about that.
Absolutely. That's, I don't care if he throws for 3,000 yards, 300 yards. If he takes care of the football, I think we'll all like it.
Coach, interesting you said today, and I'd like for you to elaborate on this, what you see is what you get. What does that actually mean, Coach?
Let's put it in layman's terms. I'm a real dude. There ain't a whole lot of flash and glitz and glamour with me. If I act a certain way, that's who I am. There's no facade. There's no BS. I tell the players exactly how it is. If I'm yelling and chewing them out, that's who I am at the time. If I'm sitting here smiling and having fun and dancing up with them, that's who I am. I don't really care what other people think about me. I just want our players to respect me, and ultimately, when they respect me, I think we're ultimately going to have a winning product on the field.
Mm-hmm. You know, you did mention also that you did some fundraising at Memphis, and you used to be Arkansas coaches all over the state for Razorback clubs. They don't do that anymore. I guess this is kind of a question unfair to ask you, but do you know Jim and Rob Walton yet?
Listen, I know them well, and I don't know them personally well, but we're just grateful for their continued support and appreciate everybody. Look, there's so many wonderful people in this great state that and corporations that want to give back and be a part of what we're doing here.
I'm just dropping a hint. If you don't know them yet, why don't you get to know them? That would be really good.
Good people to know.
That would be really good. You might have more NIL money than you know what to do
Yeah,
with.
exactly.
Yeah. Well, what is your wife? Your wife was there today. What does she think about moving to Fayetteville?
Oh, she's fired up. She's out looking at houses tomorrow, so she's excited. Well, this is the community that we want to raise our girls in and be a part of. People are so passionate. People are so prideful. People have been so welcoming already. And she is, I'll tell you what, she's all in herself. She's fired up. And we can't wait to begin this new journey here in Fayetteville with so many great people in this community.
And people you've met, what was it like at the game last night, jumping in and high-fiving students and any fans that wanted to shake your hand last night?
Oh, it was so much fun. I mean, listen, that's why I'm here. The passionate fan base, the great students. It was so much fun. I truly enjoyed it. Enjoyed being around these people. I enjoyed with what we were able to do, being around them. Very, very fortunate, and they're very passionate. I love it.
You've already visited with John Calipari. What insights did he give you about being at Arkansas?
He told me, again, like so many of others told me, how wonderful it is, how great the people are. Coach was giving me great insight on anything that I needed help with. He was being willing to there. It's great to have a friend and ally in him, obviously a legendary coach and beloved by all.
This is Coach Ryan Silverfield. head coach of the Arkansas football Razorbacks. Ryan, today the difficulty in balancing between high school recruiting and the word transfer portal, recruiting out of the portal, it is such a balance. You were talking today, and that was music to my ears, I must admit, and that was the balance you want, but you want to emphasize the high school and the high school recruiting is being a big cornerstone of your program. What kind of balance are you trying to strike between the transfer portal and high school recruiting?
Well, I think, like I said in the press conference, right, we want to sign a full high school class, anywhere from 20 to 30 guys every year, develop those guys. You hope you're not making a complete living out of the portal. I think this year we're going to have to, because of the nature of this thing and the amount of seniors we lost, we're going to have to be heavy in it. We're going to see which players want to stay and be a part of what we're building, and then go from there. I think every year is going to stand on its own merits, and that's just, it was no different than at Memphis, right? We had one year where we had a bunch of seniors that came back and we didn't mess around in the portal too much, and then last year we had to make major moves. It's part of it.
But in a challenge, Coach, as much as anything, once you get them, is retaining those players. Arkansas, over the last several years, has had a lot of key players poached off their roster. Is that going to be one of your greatest challenges? I think it is for any coach, and that is to maintain that consistency of the roster in retaining these players.
I think we're okay. I think I don't think it's going to be much of a challenge. I think what's going to happen is we're going to win football games. People are going to love playing here. The commitment from the university, from the state, and from all those involved that are backing this whole thing up, I don't think it's going to be a challenge. I think the players are going to love it, love playing here, and everything that comes with it. And that's ultimately what you want. You want to give them the best opportunity to have success. Yeah, you're going to lose some players. You hope you just keep the right ones.
I would be interested. What was your selling pitch? What was your conversation with the in-state players in which you got some to flip, some had decommitted, some hadn't committed at all to Arkansas? What was your pitch to these players?
Yeah, really, I just told them, hey, you guys want some excitement? On Thursday afternoon, I'll be on 103.7 The Buzz, and all the kids just got excited. So, I mean, that was the main selling point.
You guys are talking to Randy?
Other than that, listen. Yeah, I mean, they immediately, hey, cool, I'm coming. Let's go. And in fact, they were willing to pay me to come here, so it was that much excitement. Listen, the passion to play, they understand how much their commitment means to the state, the fans, what it can do for life after football. I mean, that's one of the things that people forget. The entire state is backing these young men, and it's going to be tremendous.
You have a really good PR guy in Kyle Parkinson, but you may not need much. It sounds like you're already pretty good at PR.
That's a pretty good answer.
Yeah, we've spent quite a bit of time together these last 72 hours. So I said this: I'll be okay if I can go a whole another week without seeing him. We'll be all right.
Well, you realize, Coach, that you just gave 103.7 The Buzz, one of the greatest promos that we can use.
That's right.
Over and over again. We'll be very thankful of that. Going forward. And
by the way, Kyle lives in my neighborhood, and I see him walking his dog every night, so that's another thing that you can like Kyle about.
Bingo.
How's that?
Bingo. Yeah. All right, Coach, I've got a question. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying when you see Kyle walking his dog tonight, you can bring that dog here, so we got a dog at the office, and kick Kyle in the rear for me.
Well, I think Kyle's been walking his dog a little later these days than he usually does, so you guys have been keeping him busy, but he's a really good guy. You'll love him.
All right, Coach, here's an easy question for you. People are wanting to know, ask if practices are going to be open to bring the fans' interest back. There's so little that is being seen nowadays of anyone's practices. Do you plan on opening any of the practices up?
Yeah, my plan right now is, listen, I've been here 72 hours. I'm just trying to figure out how to open my own door to my office. We're going to do our best to give the fans a glimpse of what that looks like. I haven't even got to that point. I know when spring practice is going to be, all that stuff. We'll look into what a spring game may possibly be. We got a lot more work to get to before we even get that far down the road.
Yeah,
that's fair.
A long way off.
That's
You're
fair.
Exactly right. Well, Okay, I know we only have about a minute left with you, and you got a big reception at 5 o'clock. You're very kind to spend time with us. We love having you in Arkansas, and I think it's interesting. You probably knew there were some negatives up front in response, but that's pretty been overwhelmed. I think you're going to love living in Arkansas.
Yeah, listen, I didn't know about any of the negatives. I don't care about any of the negatives.
Good.
It's my job to go prove to everybody what we're all about, and I can't wait.
Stay off social media. You'll be a happy human being.
It doesn't matter what time of the year. That advice is solid.
That's right.
Coach, real quick, are you wired?
Am I wired?
Are you wired?
He's not talking technology.
Yeah, I'm not talking about sticking it finger into an electrical socket.
I don't know this is going either, Coach.
No, I'm serious. He was asked today, actually, anything weird about him, and then Coach came back by saying he's weird. Wired, not weird. Wired. Are you wired?
Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm wired a little bit different than everybody. I got a little something in my neck. You got to be. You got to be wired differently to be a head football coach and to do what we do and work 120 hours a week and not sleep and work for 15 years for peanuts to try to achieve. But every second's worth it.
Coach, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. You bet. Glad to have you.
Yes, sir. Congratulations. Look forward to working with you in the future, Coach.
Absolutely, guys. Can't wait and go Hogs.
Coach Ryan Silverfield.
Using Drive Time Sports to recruit.
We like it. We like it.
Of course he is.
That's right.
All right, Drive Time Sports will continue in just a moment.
Centennial Bank presents Dan Hampton each week on Morning Mayhem. Centennial Bank. Strength is no accident. You work hard for your money. Keep it secure at Centennial Bank. Member FDIC.
Hey, Dad, I gotta come clean about something.
Okay.
I only paid for a brand new Hyundai Tucson.
Oh, you might be on the naughty list.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on all Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid models. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offer ends January 2nd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
103.7 The Buzz is your home for Arkansas Razorback basketball. Coverage is brought to you by Lion Legal Services, Kaufman by Design West, Bell Chevrolet, Network Services Group, and Windrock Automotive. Razorback basketball on your home of the Hogs, 103.7 The Buzz.
Hey, man, doesn't matter what your budget is. You got to get to Robert Irwin Jewelers because we're going to make Christmas bigger and brighter this year.
Hey, you know I'm rolling, right, Howie?
Oh, wait, let me change my voice up and sound a little bit more exciting then. This year, we've got all the greatest, most trendy fashion items in diamonds and in jewelry, and you got to get to Robert Irwin Jewelers because we've got great gift ideas for anybody's budget. We've got free financing, bigger, brighter diamonds, better prices, 5 locations, or online at rijewelers.com.
Say Robert Irwin Jewelers.
Robert Irwin Jewelers.
I'm Alan LeVar. For 25 years, my team and I have helped injury victims across Arkansas. This is our home. We don't work for insurance companies. We work for you. Car crash, truck wreck, motorcycle collision. We know how to win. And if you can't come to us, we'll come to you. Your consultation is hurting the car? Call LeVar. Arkansas strong for 25 years and ready when you need us. LeVar Law. Arkansas built, Arkansas trusted.
Hey, it's David Basil for Luxury Pool and Spa. Can you feel it in the air? Oh, I can. It's hot tub season, and I love my hot tub from Luxury Pool and Spa. You can too. They have Fantasy and Caldera hot tubs in stock and ready for delivery. Luxury Pool and Spa also carries Sharona Spa chemicals and frog systems. I use both in my hot tub. You gotta have them. Luxury Pool and Spa also has Pollywood Adirondack outdoor furniture for sitting around your fire pit with family and friends. Live the life of luxury with Luxury Pool and Spa in Conway and Russellville. LuxuryPoolArkansas.com.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. When a deep injury is done to us, we never recover until we forgive. When Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica Kirk, forgave her husband's killer, it has continued to impact many, many other lives. Actor Tim Allen said her example inspired him to let go of the resentment he felt toward the drunk driver who killed his father decades ago. Allen said, "I will say these words now. I forgive the man who killed my father." May God help us all to be forgiving. All of us at Double B's are for living life to the fullest. That includes letting go of the pain and hurts of the past. Don't imprison yourself with resentment and hatred from your friends at Doublebee's. Let each of us enjoy this day that the Lord has made.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish studios, where it's much like any of the 7 Eat My Catfish locations, minus the always fresh, delicious food options like the family pack catfish dinners. When you're on the road, we're the voices inside your head. Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports here on the Buzz Radio Network and 103.7 The Buzz as well. Thanks to Coach Silverfield. Rick Schaeffer, I'm Randy Rainwater. In a moment, we'll be joined by, Trey, Biddy, hogsports.com special time. There's a 5 o'clock gathering that Trey will be part of here in just a matter of moments. First, I must tell you, I am. Are you back across the big pond? Are you back on United States soil?
No, I'm still over in London in the UK. Now I'm going to get up in the morning and hop over the pond and be on a plane all day tomorrow. But had a lot of engagements over here, and but I wanted to make tonight's call since I was wrapping it up and ready to get back. Boy, I'm ready to get back.
Well, we're ready to have you back. Last night, Arkansas victorious over Louisville. I got to believe there were some happy folks on Bet Saracen based upon how well Arkansas played. Now, maybe a couple of misses on the points scored by certain freshmen that may not have met all the benchmarks, but nevertheless, got to have some happy people last night with that victory of Arkansas over Louisville.
Yeah, I was, I saw that when the line first came out, I go, oh, my goodness, Arkansas is getting points in Bud Walton Arena. And I said, well, the players are going to have a good one here if Arkansas wins, and they did. So, they cleaned up last night. That game started about 12:30 a.m. my time. I saw the tip-off, and then I kind of dozed off because I had an early start over here. But, I did wake up to a big number of payouts yesterday. So, hey, look, I'm up against it tonight. If the Dallas Cowboys win tonight, right now, they're getting 3.5 points. They were only getting 3 all week. And, heck, now we're giving you an extra half a point at 3.5 if you can get on it right now. And I got a feeling that we're going to have a lot of bets on the Cowboys tonight. So, hey, they could hit us up 2 days in a row, but I know everybody feels sorry for me when the book loses.
Got a lot going on, Bet Saracen. Neil, where can we find this good stuff?
Hey, go to BetSaracen.com on the web or from your phone. Just go to the App Store, type in Bet Saracen, download the app, hit registration. New customers, use the code WELCOME. That way when you make your first $25 bet, I'm going to give you a $125 in free bet. Everybody else, check the promo tab. We got a Thursday night no sweat. We got profit boost. We got SEC championship profit boost. Check it out, and good luck, everybody. I'll have to stay up till 1:15 a.m. to watch the NFL kickoff over here. It's Friday morning football instead of Thursday night football over here, but I'll manage.
Safe travels, my friend. Look forward to having you back on American soil. Neil Atkinson by way of Bet Saracen.
And now, Trey Biddy is brought to you by Crain Hyundai, Arkansas's #1 Hyundai dealer, and Genesis of Conway, Arkansas's only Genesis dealer. Genesis of Conway, the future of luxury today. Now, here's Trey Biddy.
Well, Trey, your thoughts on the first official press conference by Ryan Silverfield?
Yeah, well, I thought it was. I thought he did a good job. I thought he was anxious and excited. I mean, obviously, I feel like he had a lot of stuff to get out. One of the things that's always interesting to me is how you see teams go from one type of coach to another, and it really didn't resonate with me as much until I started trying to transcribe him, so we could write articles and stuff. Mm-hmm. With Sam Pittman, you used to be able to just. You could almost follow him without slowing it down at all, and you could easily go back and correct stuff. But Ryan talks so fast. I mean, sometimes his mind's working a little faster than his mouth is, and it is a challenge to transcribe this guy. But I thought it was good to get to know a little bit more about him and some of his philosophy. Some of it's coach speak, obviously, and I think there's a lot of trying to get people excited. And I think he's an excitable person out of the gate anyway. But I've heard things about him too that he's got more of an edge to him. That we'll see that in practices and stuff, and see the energy that he brings and how he works with players and stuff. I think that one of the more important things today with the press conference was just about the finances, and we heard a lot about that from Hunter Yurachek, but just actually hearing, that Arkansas will be in the upper half of the SEC in terms of funding for football. That is as big as anything to me. I mean, when we talk about, and I'm anxious to see, some of the salaries that come out when this staff is hired, because that's the next thing on the docket is to get this staff hired, and you've got time to do it with the transfer portal not open until January 2nd. What kind of salaries are they able to throw out there? Who comes with him from Memphis? Who are guys that he brings in from outside, guys that, haven't been on his staff before? That's all going to be real interesting stuff coming up. And I'm anxious here, too. I'm here in the Walker Pavilion right now, and obviously you can hear the band playing. They just started up, of course. And people starting to file in, and should be a fun ceremony coming up. So I don't expect to hear anything different than we just heard on the buzz, and I listened to him just now, or what we heard at his press conference. But it's fun to see how the fans interact and how the fans react, and it was fun to see him last night at the Louisville game also, see how the fans react and how he interacted with the fans as well.
What kind of crowd is gathering there? Are you seeing people start to come in already?
Yeah, Ken Hatfield's here. He's sitting right behind me, where I was sitting, where my backpack is, but he's here, and there's a good number of Razorback fans that are filling in, and there'll be former players and stuff. I actually saw when I was walking in the doors, they had a couple of reserve spots for players. Actually, I think 2 rows of reserve for players. So Travis Swanson's name I just happened to see was on there. So there'll be a good number of former players here as well as current players, I would expect. And I recognize a lot of people, a lot of diehard Razorback fans here to see this. It's they've got a pretty similar setup, if you guys remember, for the Sam Pittman introduction, but for some reason they oriented it different. This way they're going east and west this time instead of north and south. So I don't know why, but they've got it structured here a little bit different in the Walker Pavilion. For those who don't know, the Walker Pavilion is the indoor football complex. It's the same place that they did Sam Pittman's press conference or introductory ceremony 6 years ago.
Trey,
let me ask one more, Randy, and then you can have him. But I'm curious. One question I'm really curious about: 2 players were there. In the past, when a guy leaves, he tweets. Who's stay? How are we going to be able to know until they do a spring practice roster which players stay and which players go?
Well, the players will put it out. We'll keep track of all of it. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. You think okay, somebody says I'm going to stay. You think they're going to put it out on Twitter, or do you think they'll just stay and won't say anything?
I mean, I heard you earlier say to stay off social media, but that's one of the perils of my job. I have to stay on there. And there will be guys that announce that they are declaring for the NFL draft who have no eligibility remaining. I mean, they tweet about everything. So, they will definitely put it out if they are returning or not. That kind of happened in a wave last year. We saw Cam Ball, Xavier Sori very early, tweeting out all hog or run it back or some kind of message like that. So they will absolutely tweet both of those things, and we'll keep a scholarship distribution chart where we keep we update every single thing that happens with players declaring for the draft or announcing that they are returning or staying and stuff, and we keep it broken down by position and by classification. So we'll have all that stuff nice and organized for those who don't want to sift through Twitter and social media and find what you find there sometimes.
Well, I'm going to be burning a lot more paper. I can hear that now. All right, Trey, my question was, and it kind of ties into what Rick asked you about both Quincy Rhodes and KJ Jackson. What a way, if you want to start off winning over your fan base, not only what he accomplished most recently in the early signing period with the ones that he was able to sign, Danny Beal and others, but now you find out Quincy Rhodes, who arguably could be bypassing the NFL draft to stay one more year, and certainly getting your quarterback, we think your quarterback, in K.J. Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah, getting Quincy is a big one, obviously. Had a number of sacks. He is an NFL talent, I think, and I think that was kind of the worry with him more than transferring, because he is a guy from North Little Rock. Is would he go to the NFL? But having him announce that he's coming back and setting an example, I think that was great. I think it's also a nice twist to add to your press conference. That wasn't something that any of us were expecting. So, yeah, that was good to see. And then KJ, obviously, is the guy that you would consider the front runner to be the starting quarterback. And, I think that's how you start out with him. But I also think, the quarterback room is a little thin right now. And you've got to go out and get somebody. You look at all the best teams in the country, they all have great quarterbacks. And so you've got to get somebody that really challenges KJ for that starting spot, I think. And also more, as he said in the press conference, you don't just go out and get starters in the transfer portal. You also get guys that, are going to be backups or third-team guys sometimes. And I think it'll be interesting. I heard you ask, I think the same question I asked in the press conference, Randy, just about, what is the balance with the transfer portal and recruiting? And this year it's got to be different. They're going to have a whole bunch of players out of the transfer portal. You're going to have turnover with this roster and stuff. We mentioned that he had 70 total players, including walk-ons, who were brand new at Memphis last year. So you're going to have that turnover this year. I do think, what did he say, 20 to 30, or did he say 25 to 30?
25 to 30.
Yeah, 25 I thought he said initially 20 to 30, but it could be 25 or 30. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He may have said different things at the press conference and with you guys, but I do think 30 is pretty ambitious. When you talk about the amount of talent in this area that you can draw from. But who knows? Who knows how it shakes out? And who knows also, if we go to 105, that is under discussion right now with the SEC. Are we going to 105 scholarships? Right now the SEC is at 85 scholarships, and then everybody else on the roster would be a walk-on. So if we do go to that model of 105, then maybe that makes more sense to bring in that many high school recruits. But I do think you have to be at Arkansas fairly transfer portal dominant. And it's obviously important to recruit and bring in, 20, and I'm speaking in the 85 model, but bringing in 20, to 25, I kind of think maybe on that lower end for high school, but it's important that you get the right guys when you do that, because Arkansas has had a real problem over the years of not getting the right guys out of the high school class. But you can also find guys in the transfer portal who are redshirt freshmen or sophomores and still build up a young roster that way. So there's a lot of ways to do things. I don't think that there's just one formula that works. There's more than one way to skin a cat, as the saying goes. And for Arkansas, being where they are, a little more remote from a ton of elite talent, like some other programs are, like, Auburn, we brought them up. Obviously, they have a lot of different areas with, high population, high per capita talent production, and Arkansas doesn't have that necessarily. So, yes, definitely recruit in-state, get the top prospects from inside your state, no question, but also lean on that transfer portal too, I think that's a proper formula.
All right, Trey, I know you're busy. You continue to stay busy. We will talk with you tomorrow.
Okay, bye, guys.
Trey Biddy, hogsports.com, being brought to you by Crain Hyundai and Genesis of Conway, Rick Schaeffer. I'm Randy Rainwater. Drive Time Sports will continue.
Tune in every Monday night at 7 for the Coach Calipari Show. Coach will break down each game and talk strategy. And it's all brought to you by Crain Dodge Jeep Ram and the Big Lot in Benton.
Mike Rowe here with a name everyone should know. Groundworks. The foundation and crawl space repair experts are coming soon to Little Rock. So if you've got a musty crawl space or cracks in your walls, these are the guys to call. And right now, Groundworks is hiring for all positions. If you're looking for a career, Groundworks is the place to do it. You can go from installer to foreman in under a year and become an owner of the company you work for. Apply now at groundworks.com/careers.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Stop and shop at our Conway and Little Rock showrooms. That's Hawks Homes, has been serving Central Arkansas since 1986. Is Arkansas's #1 sales dealer. Volume purchasing power enables us to offer our customers the best prices on the highest quality homes. See the world's largest double-wide and single-wide homes, triple-wide homes, and even a quad. You dream it, and we'll build it for you. We're the only manufacturer and modular dealer that can build your custom home from your plans. Check them out online at hawkshomes.net.
This just in. There's a report out of the North Pole that Santa will not be in a sleigh this year. He has a new GV80 that he bought during the signature event at Genesis of Conway. According to a spokesman, it was the big offer that did it. The GV70, GV80, or G70 at 1.99% interest for 60 months. As for the reindeer, they'll be given 5 years off. A visit to Genesis of Conway, and you too will believe the future of luxury today.
Hi folks, it's Chris Zender here at Frank Fletcher Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sherwood. When you're in the market for a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep or Ram, we hope you give us a chance to earn your business. Here's some things to consider. Fletcher Dodge has been family-owned dealer here in Sherwood for over 25 years. We know how to take care of our customers to keep them coming back. Every Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram dealer pays the same price for their vehicles. It's the dealer that makes the difference. We'll give you the best deal up front. No haggling, no arguing. We make it easy to buy a new vehicle, and we'll pay you more for your trade-in. Compare our deal to anybody's, and you'll buy from us. Come see us today for the deal of a lifetime on new Dodge Chrysler Jeep or Ram. At Frank Fletcher Dodge, you always get the best price, the lowest finance rate, and more for your trade. And we promise you a hassle-free buying experience. We want to be your dealer for life. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Just tell us what you're looking for and we'll make you a deal. Come see us in person at Fletcher Dodge on Warden Road in Sherwood or shop online at FletcherDeals.com.
Winter in Arkansas means more adventure and more savings when you book your lodging at Arkansas State Parks. Get 15% off your next stay at a state park lodge or cabin when you book now. Make your plans to get out and enjoy crisp hikes, family mountain bike rides, or cozy nights and incredible views by a lodge fire, all at big savings. Just use code WINTER15 at ArkansasStateParks.com from now through February 3rd to save 15% on your stay. Some restrictions apply. See website for details.
Live from the Eat My Catfish studios, you feed your crave for sports by listening to Drive Time Sports. Much like you feed your crave at any of the 7 Eat My Catfish locations. The #1 sports radio show in Arkansas, Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports here on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaeffer. I'm Randy Rainwater. Tomorrow night, actually it starts tonight, but tomorrow night, War Memorial Stadium, high school football championships begin tonight with the 8-man. The Crain team red zone will be on hand tomorrow. Maybe Mother Nature will be a little bit nicer to us tomorrow. Be nice to see the sun for that matter. Nevertheless, we'll be there at War Memorial Stadium. Gate number 12, thanks to our great friends at the Crain team. And the Crain team, in fact, rumor has it maybe Christian Crain will be there. That's the word. And combine that with all the great opportunities they have. I call it opportunities. You can always go online at crainteam.com. You can check out all the different brands, the different lines they have to offer, whether you're looking for an SUV that's still family car. Yes, they still have family cars. And sports cars, trucks, you name it, they've got it. You'll find it at the Crain team. And whether it's Buick, Chevrolet, Ford, Hyundai, Kia, or Volkswagen, they've got a brand that will fit your specific needs. So check them out. That is thecrainteam.com. That's one way. Better yet, go check out one of the great dealerships, and hopefully you'll find the car of your dreams, and you'll get the deal that you're looking for. That's crainteam.com. That's where I began my search anyway. Let's talk with Jaden. Jaden, good afternoon. Welcome to Drive Time Sports.
Hey, Mr. Rainwater, how you doing?
Doing great. How about you, sir?
Doing great. I know we already talking about sports like NFL and college, I know. But I want to shout out my horseman football team at Horseman Middle School. Sir,
all right.
I might be a part of the football. I'm actually a part of the football team with my teammate David Melvin.
How y'all doing today?
What's going on? I mean, this is live radio. You ready?
Sir. But still, I want to say we the undefeated champions. We made history with that, first squad and Horseman 2025, November 1st, we won that championship undefeated. Yes, sir. And I also want to shout out my coach, Eric Nielsen, one of the best the best offensive coordinator in the history of the world.
Woo! That's a pretty strong statement there, but that's okay.
And I also got another thing to say. I want to shout out my football team. Well, won the championship, and my football teammate David Melvin. He did a good job at fullback.
How y'all doing?
How many yards you rush for?
Like 100.
You're breaking up. Did I miss the number, Rick?
I think he said
But
400.
another thing I want to shout out to is my coaches, my teammates, and how they treated me through the season. And I also want to thank Eric D. Nelson for pushing us through the season and giving us the other team in championship.
Well, gentlemen, we appreciate you. Congratulations on a great season and continued success. Thank you. Horseman, you missed that. They are the champions.
There you go.
In Central Arkansas, so congratulations.
All coaches and all players are tuning in and loving to share everything about it. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you guys heard earlier in the show what the new head coach for the Razorback said.
Yeah, really, I just told them, hey, you guys want some excitement on Thursday afternoon? I'll be on 103.7 The Buzz, and all the kids just got excited.
Yep.
Oh my gosh! Now you're sounding like Morning Madness.
I put it on your button bar for you, bub.
Oh,
Funny.
okay.
Funny. Well, do we have a guest at 5:05 now since Trey's not on?
No, we do not.
Okay, then I'll wait because we need to. Or I could do it right now. We need to say something about Nate Allen.
Oh, absolutely.
Nate Allen, and Hunter Yurachek was nice enough to say something about him. Passed away, but the message didn't get to us until after 5:30 yesterday when we went off the air early. I think people around the state will know him. Who've been around for a while because Orville Henry hired him with the Arkansas Gazette when he was a young journalist out of the University of Missouri, just like Bob Holt was. And in the early days, I got here, I was good time, I don't mind my age, I got here in 1976. Nate was already covering the Razorbacks. So was Grant Hall, who's still here and does a little bit of radio, and Mike Irwin, who still works at KNWA here. And that was it. We're the only ones left that were here at that time. Nate loved getting scoops, and this was in the days when there was the Gazette, there was the Democrat, there was the Northwest Times, which was the Fayetteville paper, there was the Springdale Morning News, there was the Benton County Record, Southwest Times Record. There were all kinds. There were newspapers everywhere, and that's how you got your news. You read the newspaper, and there was no even statewide radio show like Randy was the first one to start one of those, but that was several years after that. And Nate had the amazing ability to go to football practice, and I don't know if he just sat there and looked at everybody's jersey, but if somebody wasn't at practice, Nate knew about it. And after the coach would address the media after practice, he'd corner the coach and ask about the player and find out something nobody else did. And Nate was very good at that. And so he was a super scooper. And then what was really interesting was Bob Holt came along for the Democrat, and Bob was an excellent reporter as well, another Missouri grad. And Bob asked question after question after question. And Nate's one of those guys that didn't want to ask questions at the press conference, because if he had something he really wanted to know, he wanted to get it privately. Mm-hmm. So not everybody would get it, which is something that doesn't happen anymore. And so Bob would be asking these questions. Nate would roll his eyes like, oh my gosh, how many more questions can he ask? And all of that. But the odd thing was Nate and Bob were very good friends. And so both of them now we've lost in the last year. Journalism will never be again what it was then. I mean, we're not going to see that ever go back to newspapers. Obviously, the Democrat Gazette still publishes. There are others. The Southwest Times Record does. I think Pine Bluff does. But it's not like it once was, where they're scrambling to beat each other with stories, and you can get more information online these days than you can get in a newspaper. So that's kind of an end of an era with Bob and Nate both passing away, and
just
Nate
about almost a year apart.
Yeah, Nate was a good friend. The other thing is, Mike Nail's celebration of life was the Sunday after the Texas game, so we're talking about less than 2 weeks ago. Nate was there. You know, Nate had gone through throat cancer a couple times, so you couldn't understand him anymore when he talked. But he was there. He was using a cane to get around, and evidently he wrote his last column Monday night, and it appeared Tuesday. And one of the things that he included was thanking the university for leaving a seat for Bob Holt at the Arkansas-Missouri game. That was in his last column. So interesting. He loved track. He covered track probably better than any reporter in the area. And so interesting. And we hate to see Nate gone.
Wow.
And as I looked around in that press room, Randy, and it was packed. It was packed. Our friend Courtney Mims was there, and there were reporters from everywhere. Steve Sullivan was there from Little Rock. I'm sure there were others from Little Rock. But as I was looking around, not many of our generation. Most of them are a lot younger now, and just interesting to watch around. It's a new age of covering Razorback athletics, and that's why we're really glad to have. I think you and I keep up as well as anybody, and we try and keep our listeners informed. But it's also great to have somebody like Trey Biddy, Kevin McPherson to talk about basketball. Kevin was also at the press conference. It's great to have people that are of the younger generation to be with us from time to time.
Yeah, you made me start thinking. Wally, is that just about the last of that?
Yeah, but
generation?
Wally was never here. You know, Wally.
Oh,
Wally
you're talking about in Fayetteville.
Wally
Okay,
was in
okay,
Little Rock,
okay.
and so for those who are here on a daily basis,
Well, I
every
can't
day
include
covering the
myself in that
Razorbacks.
either, no.
Yeah. Really, again, Mike Irwin, Grant Hall, and me, we're it for being here back then. Yeah, and Wally, gosh, he's been sports editor. He's been with the Democrat Gazette a long time, but David McCollum was the sports editor before that, so Wally didn't go all the way back as sports editor anyway to the 76.
Wow. All right, hour number 2 coming up in a moment. You may have heard Trey Biddy earlier. I'm sorry. He is with the ceremony ongoing right now.
Don't be sorry. Be glad he is.
He is. He is. He's not sorry.
Thompson's in Sherwood is extending Black Friday deals. 25% off all full-priced apparel through December 6th. Stop by today or visit FortThompson.com. Fort Thompson's in Sherwood.
When you do something for over 50 years, you get really good at it. Like Helen here. She's been knitting for over 50 years. Using her needles and yarn, she can knit a working moped, a Civil War era cannon, even a life-size version of the Arc de Triomphe. Amazing stitch, Helen. We're a lot like Helen Knitting, except we do it with insurance. Williamson Insurance with Auto Owners Insurance, protecting your business and your family for over 50 years.
Injured? Let's talk about getting help now.
Anywhere in the state, dial 888-8888.
Whether injured at night, on a weekend, or a holiday,
dial 8 for Rainwater, Holton, Sexton.
888-8888.
Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater, Sexton.
Listen for Champs and Chumps on Fridays during the Zone. Brought to you by Washita Bar and Grill on Central.
Where the hogs hit the hardwood. 103.7 The Buzz. KABZ, Little Rock. Buzz News with KARK's Gary Burton Jr.
Central Arkansas is seeing an increase in runaway teens. The Children's Protection Center in Little Rock took in 3 runaways in just last week. They say most kids run away to escape abuse, neglect, or family conflict, but those who aren't found quickly face even greater risk, like homelessness or trafficking. That's why they say every child they help is assigned a family advocate and a therapist. A Crawford County woman is accused of having her mentally disabled daughter kidnapped. The 59-year-old mother is charged with conspiracy to commit kidnapping and endangering the welfare of a minor. Investigators say she convinced 2 people to kidnap her daughter and tie her to a tree. Deputies say it was all a plot to keep her from talking to strangers online. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm KARK's Gary Burton Jr. Have a great Thursday, everyone.
Knights of Columbus, fraternal organization of Catholic men, who remind you to remember Christ and Christmas. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the Knights of Columbus.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Pat Walker.
A 70% chance of rain, sleet, and snow today, but we will be above freezing. 38 the high in Little Rock. The roads will be wet. They will not get slicked over. Now, tonight, there's still a slight chance of a shower with an overnight low of 29. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Pat Walker.
Are you hungry? Something new, $25, all you can eat, sushi rolls, soup, salad, Benihana rice. Come at Benihana's Monday through Thursday.
Hey folks, this is Mitch Ward, proudly serving the great state of Arkansas with Red River Auto Group for over 20 years. We started as Arkansas's #1 Ram, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep dealer, but we've also got Ford and Toyota. And I like to think we've got the largest discounts than anybody in the state. But folks, really, if you bring us any reasonable deal right now, we're going to try to put something together. If that means us giving a little too much for your trade or selling ours for just a little too cheap or fighting for the best rate, we're going to make it happen. Check us out at redriverauto.com.
If you own a home and need cash, you could unlock thousands of dollars from your home equity quickly and easily. Call LendGo today at 888-602-1580. At LendGo, you can find out how much cash you could get with a home equity loan in just 2 minutes. It's free, there's no obligation, and it won't affect your credit score. Use the money for anything. Pay off high-interest debt or just give your budget some breathing room. Call 888-602-1580 today.
If you've been waiting to try learning a new language with Babbel, now is the time. For just a few more days, you can unlock all of the languages on Babbel with a lifetime subscription at our largest discount of the year. Where will Babbel take you? Find out at Babbel.com. Y una cosa más. This is your last chance because our biggest sale of the year ends on December 7th. For just a few more days, you can get Babbel's lifetime access for less at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
10 Fitness brings you Top 10 Tuesdays with The Zone each week. Justin and DJ will dive into a different Top 10 list and take your calls. Brought to you by 10 Fitness. Turn back the clock on gym prices.
Make your yard the envy of the neighborhood with top quality equipment from Cabot Outdoors. Right now, purchase a Hustler Fast Track Series mower and receive a free pressure washer. An unbeatable bonus of up to $799. But hurry to get an extra $500 off. Supplies are limited. The Hustler Fast Track delivers precision, comfort, and durability for homeowners who demand more. Stop by Cabot Outdoors, 901 South Pine Street in Cabot, or take a look on Facebook.
The Powerball jackpot from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is now more than $600 million. So, what would you do if you won?
If I won the jackpot, I would buy my own racehorse.
If I won the lottery, I would buy my wife a beach house.
First person I would call would be my husband. He's got a big mouth, but I would still call him first.
Got your ticket? If not, visit your local lottery retailer for your chance to win the Powerball jackpot of more than $600 million. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Progressive knows road trips without your pet can be tough.
Hi, this is Next Stop Dog Boarding.
Hi, it's Scott again. How's Squeaks doing? You can tell if he's stressed by his eyebrows. Oh, and his breathing should sound like this.
Scott, Squeaks is exactly the same as last time you called.
Okay, let's talk in 20 to see if anything's changed.
With Progressive, your pet is covered up to $1,000 in vet bills in case of a car accident. So next time, you can take your pet with you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
Hey, it's David Basil for Luxury Pool and Spa. Can you feel it in the air? Oh, I can. It's hot tub season, and I love my hot tub from Luxury Pool and Spa. You can too. They have Fantasy and Caldera hot tubs in stock and ready for delivery. Luxury Pool and Spa also carries Serona Spa chemicals and frog systems. I use both in my hot tub. You gotta have them. Luxury Pool and Spa also has Pollywood Adirondack outdoor furniture for sitting around your fire pit with family and friends. Live the life of luxury with Luxury Pool and Spa in Conway and Russellville. LuxuryPoolArkansas.com.
Live from the Eat My Catfish studios, it's time for Arkansas's #1 collar-driven sports show. It's Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network with your hosts, Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaeffer. Lock it in and get ready to dial us up. Drive Time Sports is on the air.
Hour number 2 of Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaeffer standing by in Northwest Arkansas. I'm Randy Rainwater from the capital city. And oh, by the way, if you happen to miss, and Dr. Google can certainly clarify this, but if you missed Coach Ryan Silverfield and his appearance here on 103.7 The Buzz by way of Drive Time Sports, the podcast, did you say it's already up?
Yeah, it's wherever you get your podcast. It is available for you. So just go grab it because he had a lot to say. I like him.
Yeah. So there you have it. If you missed it earlier, it came on at 4:06, and we signed off at 4:28 with him. So right there where you find your favorite podcast.
And especially if you're a high school football recruit, because he was using Drive Time Sports to recruit athletes in Arkansas. Yeah.
Yes. And, in fact, when he talked to him, his opening was, you know, that it's Drive Time Sports, it's 103.7 The Buzz. That's the reason why you need to come sign with Arkansas. So
is that a promise that we can get every signee on the show? We ought to hold him to that, shouldn't we?
You know, back in the good old days, we used to
we used to do that.
Yeah, we get the majority of the, especially the in-state kids.
Yeah, you got phone numbers.
Yeah, so back in the good old days.
I did want to bring up one kid that I saw that didn't switch over from SMU. That Evan kid that went to PA and moved over to Bauxite. The 6'7", 300-pound kid. Ooh, I wish he would have came over.
Yep, you couldn't flip them all.
Yeah.
There was a linebacker.
Yeah.
I believe it was a linebacker from Bryant who signed with Oklahoma.
Got 4 out of 6. You know, that's pretty good because before he came here, they had 0 out of 6.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah. All right, let's talk with Ryan. Ryan, good afternoon. Welcome to Drive Time Sports.
Hey, guys. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Well, thank
I wanted to try to talk to y'all about some stuff with Ryan Silverfield's stuff that he did on TV today or whatever, his press conference. So whenever he said that he had quarterback experience back in 2005 as far as being a quarterback coach, my question is that, you know, we've got fans out there that you know, and I'm not trying to bring it up because I know we got a new head coach hired, but, you know, we've got a guy that we just let go or was interim coach that's always done fairly well as far as offensive side of the ball and as far as quarterback. And so my question is, you know, is there a situation where they are going to at least try to retain him as maybe a quarterback coach, or is there any talks in that, or has anybody heard anything on that side of things? And please, God, don't tell Marcus Elliott we're talking about this, because he don't care for Petrino.
Well, he was not open to talking about any assistants that he's about to hire. He did say there would be some with SEC experience.
NFL experience.
Hunter Yurachek pointed out when he was asked, how are the fans going to know that you've really made this financial commitment? He said the first stage was see when you see some of the assistant coaches that get hired. So that means if you're going to bring in coordinators that are highly respected, you're going to pay them, you know, $1.5 million each probably to start with.
At minimum,
1.2, anywhere in there. And I got to believe that if he was retaining any coaches off this staff, he would have announced it immediately, because that's kind of what you do.
Right.
You kind of say, hey, by the way, just to let you know, we're putting together our staff, but so-and-so and so-and-so, we've already committed to keeping them. And he did not do that, which to me is an indication that it's going to be a clean sweep.
Right. Well, and I just know that there was a split, kind of a split, I would say, fan base about him.
Mm-hmm.
There were some people that didn't like him. There were some people that did.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he was a great coach. I mean, he was up against the wall with a lot of things that was going on this year, and he stepped into a role that I don't know if anybody could have turned it around. Now, they expected him to get wins, and I think people go back to the 2011 season and see the way that it was whenever he was here, and just expect for him to automatically be able to make miracles happen. Were there times whenever I looked at things as far as what he was doing, on calls that were made, were a little iffy? Sure. I'm not going to say that there wasn't, but I think he was in such dire need of trying to make sure that the offense outscored in order to be able to just win the game and try to get a game. And the biggest problem with I will say Bobby Petrino's offense is you've got to have a heck of a defense in order to be able to keep up. Otherwise, you're gonna it's down to whoever's got the ball last most of the time, and that's what we've seen every time this happened this year. You gas the defense so much because they're so quick striking on offense that the defensive side of the ball, they're worn out, and you don't have enough to rotate in and out because you don't have any depth.
Well, in fairness,
I don't know. I mean, I go ahead. I'm sorry.
In fairness, the defense did get better, and for those who wondered if they'd play hard after their coordinator was dismissed, they at least played hard. They might not have liked it, but they at least played hard. And if you really want to go back and look at several of the losses, you can blame them on turnovers and offensive penalties. And so,
you're right.
And those are areas where Petrino, you
that's
figured
Petrino's
would always have influence. That for some reason, turnovers were definitely a factor, including the two games that Arkansas should have won before Pittman was fired. Both were lost because of turnovers in the last couple minutes of the game.
Right. Well, and they talk about Taylor Green, and I'm not saying that Taylor Green wasn't a good quarterback, but I think there were times where he was under duress and he made a lot of foolish mistakes on throwing the ball.
Yes.
Or doing things that maybe he shouldn't have made those types of mistakes. Now, when you're out there on the field and you've got linemen coming after you, I mean, you got to get rid of it. And maybe he didn't make the good judgment calls as far as making the throws that he should have or whatever. But I don't know. I mean, it was just my question about whether they had thought about possibly even retaining him, because I had read something on social media that he was possibly willing to take a play or a pay cut to be able to be just a part of the Arkansas program. Because I think he wants to still be here. He wants to right the wrong that happened whenever he was here the last time. And there was obviously a lot of people that wanted him here, but now I don't know if he's lost that because he didn't win in any game after the fact that Pittman was fired, or what. So that was just kind of my question, is if y'all have heard that whether there's been talks with him or not,
Ryan,
as far as trying to be able to maybe possibly retain him.
Thank you, Ryan.
So,
I don't think I think I'm with Rick. I've heard nothing of any of the staff. In fact, we speculated because of some of the offensive line recruits that maybe Eric Mateos was going to be part of this staff. I don't know that that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be a clean sweep, as you said, a fresh start. This from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line. Meat Pig says, Meat Pig says, thanks for the interview with Coach. He's got me looking for some Kool-Aid. Then when he went on to say, when Coach was on Morning Madness, he started right off by telling David he knew he was the man who tackled Bo Jackson.
Old 53
Great sense of humor.
Really?
I don't know,
my
but
gosh.
Holy smokes. Wow, DB, he must have sent him his profile before he had a chance to talk to him.
That's the opening line in his resume, I believe.
Yes. Let's talk with Bart. Bart, good afternoon. Welcome to Drive Time Sports.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Doing great, thank you.
Hey, I was listening to part of the conference with Silverfield this afternoon, and there was an interesting stat that he'd mentioned. He'd mentioned over 50 games where the Memphis offense had scored over 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard that stat, and if you really look at that, that means that if he were to have a really good defense, we could be in for some really good games and have some really good seasons. So what do you guys think would make a big splash as a defensive coordinator to help in that department?
Well, one was taken off of my wish list. He's staying at Auburn. That's DJ Durkin. We mentioned the other day, Bart, that one of the best things, I don't know that he'll do this or not, but why not go down that list of the Broyles candidates? There are quite a few DCs that's on that list. Now, granted, they may not want to leave where they're at currently, or they may be making moves in other coaching hires that's come about lately. But that's where I'd start. But he may have someone in mind, and who knows, it may be somebody he's talking about that has NFL-type experience. We'll see.
Awesome. Godspeed. Go Hogs.
Thank you, Bart. This again from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line. Tell callers to please stop with the BP talk. We have a new exciting coach. His ship has sailed.
And I think that is true, and I think Bobby Petrino would acknowledge that. Hey, he got 2 good years coming back, and, you know, if he doesn't get another job for a year, Arkansas is still going to be paying him. He's contracted through the 2026 season, so he's in good shape.
This from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line. 1, Silverfield has flipped me in a way. Hope he can coach as good as he talks. 2, why did not one reporter ask why the press conference had to wait until Thursday? Somebody please call him out. I guess he's talking about Hunter Yurchek. They did that basically when he was asked about his role with the college football playoff and how it had impacted the search. But in essence, he was also kind of giving you his own timeline. And we talked about this.
Yeah.
I think the most important time that he spent early, and if he asked, I think it was Mike from Bryant that brought this point up. Doesn't matter. But that he jumped right in on recruiting.
Yeah.
And flipping players, particularly in-state players, to come to Arkansas. That time was far more valuably spent than it would have been had he held a press conference, if that would have made any difference at all. But
and it wasn't just recruiting. You know, he's been talking to coaches. I mean, he said he hadn't had much sleep. In fact, it was really interesting. He said he hadn't seen much of Fayetteville, and he said there's not much to see after 12:30 at night and before 4 in the morning, meaning maybe he was going home for 3 hours of sleep and back at work again.
Right. Here's another example, I guess you could say, from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line, because he certainly had a lot to talk about today. Said, look at the presser Golish had. He didn't have any real answers to give. Silverfield did the right thing by waiting. I think he would have probably.
Well, here's the thing:
done accordingly, whatever was told.
If he'd have walked in there Monday, he might not have had KJ Jackson and Qualls with him, and so Rhodes, excuse me, because he wouldn't have had time to meet with them. That's the other thing is here. It's pretty amazing. This is Thursday. He's met individually with every player that has eligibility left. While he's putting together a staff, while he signed 17 players yesterday, while he's got people looking at it's interesting his comment about the transfer portal. You can't talk to him or anything else. Look, there are people scouring rosters and saying, okay, if this guy, if that guy, if this guy comes in the transfer portal, they already know some that are going to go, and he's been busy with that too. So, and he's got twin girls that are fairly young, younger than a year old. So he definitely needs to spend at least a little time with his family.
Well, I was just looking at this was what we call the flip card coming out of the Missouri-Arkansas game. So it's not even a week old yet.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much repeated from the beginning of the season. But nevertheless, I was just kind of going down this list, Rick, looking at some of the names. Okay, Kobe Branham, yeah. Selman Bridges, Gavion Burchard, he is a offensive lineman, 6'6", 306. C.J. Brown, Charlie Collins, Cash Courtney, Bubba Craig, who we didn't see much of this year, Courtney Crutchfield, let's see, Keyshawn Davila, he's the defensive back, the JUCO All-American who didn't really get a whole lot of playing time this year. Let's see, Brooks Edmondson, who did a great job in the Liberty Bowl a year ago. Let's see, Gavin Garrettson, big tight end who saw just a little bit of action towards the tail end of the season. Andrew Harris, a linebacker. Marion Harris, Monte Harrison, Kavion Henderson, a defensive lineman who showed a little bit of promise. Rodney Hill can return. KJ Jackson, who we've already found out he's coming back. Trevor Jackson, he is that redshirt freshman who transferred in from Florida State as a quarterback. Caleb James. Andy Jean is just a redshirt sophomore, didn't realize that. Cross Johnson, another wide receiver. Akari Johnson, defensive back. Let's see, Antonio Jordan, who unfortunately didn't get to play at all this year because of that high ankle injury that he suffered. Grant Carnes, another wide receiver. Caden Kittler, who can return. I would put him one of my high priorities to get him to return. Justin Logan, a defensive back who we saw towards the end of the year. Shaq McCroy, who got injured. I think he may have played 2 snaps before he got hurt. Miguel Mitchell, one of the safeties. Kevin Otis, another promising defensive lineman. Taj Overton, a defensive back. Anton Pierce, defensive back. Jaden Platt, tight end. Nigel Prigg, or Pringle, I should say, defensive back. L.J. Prudhomme, offensive lineman. Quincy Rhodes, sounds like he's coming back, according to what happened today. Braylon Russell, just a sophomore. Cam Settles, true freshman. Cam Shanks, played a little bit of wide receiver, special teams. Bradley Shaw, I circle his name for sure. Jabray Shaw, defensive back. J.J. Shelton, Wyatt Simmons, Jaheim Singletary, Scott Starzik, be important to get him back. Ken Talley, Reginald Vaughn, defensive lineman, he played just a little bit. Tavion Wallace, highly regarded linebacker, freshman. Let's see, Donovan Witten, Grayson Wilson, promising young quarterback, Central Arkansas. He is a true freshman. I'm sure by now he has had a conversation with all those gentlemen, and I may have left someone off that I just didn't acknowledge.
Okay, so I'm going to make a public confession here. So KJ Jackson was sitting right next to where I was, so I introduced myself, and we have some mutual friends that I shared with him, and then I said, KJ, you have one assignment. He said, what's that? And he said, I told him, Monte Harrison has been one of the greatest guests ever on Drive Time Sports through NIL. I said, your assignment is to make sure he's back next year. He said, he'll be back. I'll make sure of that. I said, thank you. So we get Monte at least one more week. Next Monday, I'm going to ask him if KJ's approached him about staying.
Well, we're waiting to find out. We're trying to work those details out behind the scenes.
Okay.
It's not 100% that he is back on Monday, but
he's been asked.
He has been asked, and we're working on that right now.
Well, hey, it's okay. He's been a great guest. So.
Oh, I'm not arguing that. I'm just simply saying it's not a slam dunk. We've got him for one more.
Okay, I got it.
Kev. Okay, never mind. All right, I've got this from Stan in Little Rock by way of our D3 Auto Sales Bus text line. Davila has already announced he's entering the portal. I didn't know he'd put his name in the portal.
Who has?
Davila, the defensive back.
Oh. Okay. Well, you can't put your name in. You can say you're going to, but you can't go in the portal to January 2nd.
Right.
Yeah. So let Stan know there won't be building statues for him then.
Well, I'm not sure that's the same Stan.
Oh, it's a different Stan.
I don't know. It's Stan in Little Rock. Keyshawn Davila. And he's saying he's already put his name into the portal. So I'm not going to scratch him off of my list yet until, who knows, he may have another conversation with Coach Silverfield. He may change his mind. It's not official right now. This from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line. What's the fascination with BP? It was 14 years ago. Let it go. The game has passed him up. I'm not sure he's passed it up. How can you say he's a QB whiz when he had to bench his quarterback? The one he handpicked. Give me a break. Some guys don't want to be relevant. Well, again, I'm not sure the game has passed him by. I wish he would have done something differently in Bobby, in that last game against Missouri. If you're going to start Green. Let him play. Let him play the whole game. But don't go back and forth as he did with KJ Jackson. Because when KJ was rolling, I felt like he should have left him in. But that's my opinion. All right, we will step away for a moment. Rick Schaeffer. I'm Randy Rainwater. Drive Time Sports will continue in just one moment. Stay tuned.
Let's pack the Jack Stevens Center and celebrate 20 years of the fabulous home court of Little Rock Trojans basketball. Your Trojans take the floor at the Jack Stevens Center on Saturday, December 6th. The Trojans women will take on UCA at 6 p.m. The Trojan men will tip off against Arkansas State at 8. Fill the stands and celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Jack Stevens Center. Get tickets now. Go to lrtrojans.com. Come out and cheer on your Trojans. Single game and season tickets are available at lrtrojans.com.
You're leaving for work, but the garage door won't open. Is it the opener? Is it a broken spring? Now you're late and your car is trapped. Don't panic. It's easy to schedule a convenient same-day service with a trained technician from Overhead Door Company of Little Rock, the original Red Ribbon Garage Door Company trusted in Little Rock since 1967. Call 501-510-6399 or schedule online at overheaddooroflittlerock.com.
Arkansas Municipal Equipment in Poen, founded over a decade ago by Daniel and Vanessa Ellison. They lease and sell trucks, trash carts, roll-off dumpsters, and street sweepers. Proud to be Arkansas's only authorized dealer for New Way refuse trucks and Timco street sweepers. Your authorized dealer for Galfab roll-off and hook lift trucks. You can get parts and service for all makes and models with technicians traveling the state to take care of you.
AME, it's the service after the sale.
Hi, it's Frank Fletcher from the Fletcher Dodge store here in Sherwood. Folks, if you're shopping for a new car or truck, I hope you'll come see us and give us a chance to earn your business. We have huge discounts, $1,000 over Kelly Blue. I guarantee you a hassle-free buying experience. And if you've had credit problems in the past, listen to this. We have an easy pre-approval process. Just go to FletcherCredit.com to get started. You can be pre-approved in minutes. It's really not hard. FletcherCredit.com. Folks, we're also still buying cars every day. If you got an old car or truck you want to turn into cash, bring it to Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood and ask for Chris or Andy. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Shop in person or shop online at FletcherDeals.com. Thank you.
Arkansas Roundballers Big Joe Klein and Pat Bradley pontificate on Bet Saracen.
People ask me, what do basketball players know about football? What say you, Joe?
I explained that anyone can run up and down a grass field with a screwy-shaped ball, but it takes finesse to strategically launch a basketball from long distances at an 18-inch diameter steel hoop.
Dang, Joe, you sure are smart.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
Coach Cal and the high-flying Hogs will be returning to the loudest neutral site arena in the country. That's Simmons Bank Arena in North Little Rock, Arkansas on Saturday, December 6th. Be there and be loud as the Razorbacks battle the Fresno State Bulldogs with tip-off set for 3 p.m. Call the Hogs and secure your seats today at the arena ticket office or by visiting SimmonsBankArena.com.
Now, back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish studios. Eat fresh, eat local, eat my catfish. Often imitated but never duplicated. This is Drive Time Sports with Randy Rainwater on the Buzz Radio Network.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports here on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaeffer. I'm Randy Rainwater. In a moment, we'll be joined by Kevin McPherson, better known as HoopScoop, courtesy of hogville.net. And I got this message from Double F. I'm like, wow, what a deal. What a deal. This may be the deal of the year. That's saying a lot. Double F's had some great ones so far this year. Tonight and tomorrow night. He's pulled out the big guns. The 2 for $60 is back. 10-ounce big filet. 10 ounce. That's that big filet. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. Giant Double F fried shrimp. That's right. 4. Of the Double F fried shrimp, those monsters, the world famous, internationally famous, delicious rolls with the mound of butter, the 28-item salad bar with baby shrimp, and Double F, again, outdoing himself, or the 12-ounce prime rib. That includes carrot salad bar, $37.50. Now, folks, that is amazing. You're getting the 10-ounce filet, the big filet, the 4 humongous fried shrimp, the rolls, the salad bar. That's $60, 2 for $60. Then you get the prime rib, the 12-ounce prime rib, carrot salad bar, $37.50. Wow, what a deal! That's tonight and tomorrow night. I know you may think, can't make it tonight. Make it tomorrow night then. What a deal. 2 for $60, 10-ounce filet, or the 12-ounce prime rib, $37.50. Wow, what a deal. That's the Riverfront Steakhouse, Wyndham Hotel in North Little Rock. 371-9000, 371-9000. Ask for Uncle Shapur, Cousin William. What a deal. What a deal. Only at the Riverfront Steakhouse, Wyndham Hotel, tonight and tomorrow night. What a deal. And speaking of what a deal, well, I'm on the wrong page. Never mind. I won't even sing. We'll just go straight to better known as HoopScoop, courtesy of hogville.net. Well, he's known as Kevin McPherson. What did you think about the game last night?
Randy, I was so pumped that I'm still in Fayetteville, across the street at Fayetteville High School right now. I'm still just a stone's throw away from Budwell Arena. No, I mean, I thought Arkansas did what it needed to do to get a quality marquee win, a quad one win, a victory over a top 10 ranked and a previously unbeaten team. And for once in one of these games, Arkansas really played to its strengths in both halves. Arkansas attempted 28 three-pointers in their 3-point road loss to Michigan State, 30 three-point attempts against Duke, and a lot of those came late when Arkansas settled. And I thought out of the gate, Arkansas attacked Louisville, got paint pressures, got out transition, generated free throw attempts, got all over the glass like we have not seen I don't know that we've seen a rebounding effort like that for Arkansas under Calipari. Maybe I'm forgetting one from last year. But Arkansas, and it wasn't one or two guys. It was to a man. Arkansas attacked the glass. So I thought Arkansas set the tone early. Granted, you build a 20-point lead early second half, and we know this program so far has a propensity to let teams back in it and put a scare in you, but never got to a one-possession lead for Arkansas late. 5 was as close, and that's pretty close with about 3 minutes to go, 2.5 minutes for Louisville. But I thought Arkansas, that little 6-0 mini spurt down the stretch, lob pass from Acuff, tough drive and finish for Acuff. Ewan getting to the free throw line, battling on that offensive glass. I think Arkansas was the better team for 36, 37 minutes in this game. And that's saying a lot for what was an elite offensive team coming in Louisville, an elite three-point shooting team. Arkansas absolutely took that away when you look at it statistically for the whole night. What else can you say? Arkansas 89-80. It was a big win.
Rebounding really was good. I listened to the broadcast for the most part, but did flip the volume up every now and then to hear what the announcers were saying. And they were pointing out how everybody was involved in the rebounding, including Arkansas's guards. And maybe that's why we saw such an impact on the rebounding last night, was because the guards rebounded so well.
Yeah, I mean, you had Malik Ewan with 7 offensive rebounds. Carter Knox, when you look at him statistically in this game, you're going to say he was off again, but he hit 2 early buckets to help Arkansas get off to a great start. But he had 3 or 4 contests. He went in and rebounded his own miss. He was battling for loose balls. It was just down the line, guards, wings, bigs. And Arkansas looked like the team we talked so much about in the preseason, looked like the team that was dominant in the exhibition play, right? Because they blew out Cincinnati and eventually blew out Memphis. And then we haven't seen that team since. And we say all the time, Calipari's got starter value with his top 8 rotation. I think in this game, that finally showed. And to see Malik Ewan in 17 minutes, he was the X factor. 12 big points, knocking down free throws late. I know he missed 2 when the score was academic. The game was over, but, prior to that, he'd only missed 1 free throw all year, I believe. But those 7 offensive rebounds and 9 total, he was 1 rebound away from a double-double in only 17 minutes against a quality team. We're not talking about Jackson State 2 games ago. We're talking about a top 10 ranked undefeated team.
Kevin, I thought it was interesting. Coach Cal, in his post-game remarks, said he had went back and he had watched Ewing's tape of the 2 previous games that last year at Florida State he had played against Louisville. And he put those together and gave it to Ewing, told him to watch it, then watch it again the morning of, watch it right before he played. But then he went and he said, I showed it to his teammates. He said that way they know exactly what they're supposed to be getting from this guy. I mean, I thought it was an interesting twist, if you will, on how to motivate a player, how to challenge a player than what Coach Cal did with Malik Ewing.
Yeah. And what's interesting is if you look at the arc of 8 games so far, that's really about effectively a quarter now of your regular season. Mm-hmm. Trevor Brazile and Billy Richmond III, I think, have been the most consistent effort players at both ends so far. Not that they've been perfect. We know Brazile had a rough outing against Michigan State. But I think you wanted what they do to be contagious. And I think showing that film of Ewan and everybody else, Carter Knox was doing his Billy Richmond impersonation before Richmond ever entered the game. And that's what I was speaking to a few minutes ago. I think, both of your freshman guards, each of them got 5 rebounds. We talk about Darius Acuff with his first career double-double, and, man, with both of those young men big, scoring the ball late when Arkansas needed points. But I thought in the first half they probably played their best basketball in terms of limiting their shots and trying to get teammates involved, promote ball movement. Arkansas took only 18 threes in this game. I mentioned 28 against Michigan State, 30 against Duke, only 18. A big part of that, combined Acuff and Thomas, 8 3-point attempts combined. Most games, both of them are attempting at least 8, right? Each of them are. So at least double that, if not more. And I think that, as good as they are, I think Arkansas settles too much, and I'm not putting it all on them. but because they handle the ball more than anybody and they create more shooting opportunities for themselves and others, I think it was good for Arkansas to play to strengths and not get into a rat race up and down trying to shoot threes with a team you knew was going to get close to 40.
Curious your thoughts on DJ Wagner. Duke, he played a total of 16 minutes and 10 seconds. Louisville, last night he played 19 minutes and 20 seconds. Yeah. What is going on, in your opinion, with DJ Wagner?
If you remember last year, he had his struggles this time of year, and Boogie Flan was the primary handler, and DJ shared in those roles. We're seeing him in a sharing role again with Acuff. I just think, a 35-minute-a-game Wagner, which is what we saw last year, by the time Flan was gone, he was your primary handler, and he was more comfortable that way. And I just think it's hard for him. He's kind of a tweener in terms of a two-guard because he's not really a perimeter shooter. He's not a quick twitch shot creator, but he can do some good things. He gave Arkansas 5 straight points in the second half when Arkansas really needed it. Louisville was starting to get hot, and Arkansas needed some answers at the other end, and Wagner had some big plays there. I thought he did a good job at times penetrating. He didn't finish some shots. He got them soft off the glass so that teammates could go get offensive rebounds. Sometimes you look at that stuff and take for granted that all you want to do sometimes is get a guard to penetrate, draw help, and then it leaves your bigs either open for a pass or if you miss a driving layup, they're there for the putback, and they don't have big bodies blocking them out because they've gone to help and try to close on DJ. So I thought Arkansas got something really good from everybody, less from Knox and DJ, and we're seeing more and more of that lately. If Arkansas figures everything out, Trevor Brazile is playing like the player we thought he was going to be, and he's consistent. We know that Knox can be good. We know Wagner can be good. We're starting to see Ewan come along. Pringle's going to have offensive limitations, but he's going to have his nights. I think Arkansas is starting to look better and better, and let's not forget, they haven't been their best against 2 quality top 10 ranked teams and had chances to beat both of them despite having individual players having off nights, and collectively maybe not being connected all the time.
Yeah, that brings up another interesting twist that Coach Cal also mentioned in his post-game press conference, and that was down the stretch, if you're not playing defense, that's why you're not on the floor. I thought that was an interesting statement. At least I interpreted that as saying down the stretch is when he was talking about, because you had to make defensive stops, pure and simple. Yeah.
Arkansas, I think the Razorbacks, you saw both Brazile and Ewan making some big plays defensively. I thought Pringle got Arkansas off to a good start defensively. When Louisville really struggled early trying to run it their high two-man action out high, and Pringle did a really good job of not just showing, but jumping the gaps, and then staying in front of guards. And before Arkansas circled back to switching back, I thought everybody to a man helped Arkansas last night.
Yeah, it was just interesting that you're not playing defense, you're not on the floor. That's the reason why. You better play defense.
Yeah.
Or otherwise, you're sitting by me. Hang on, Kevin. We got to step away for a moment. That is Kevin McPherson, better known as HoopScoop, courtesy of Hogville.net. Rick Schaeffer. I'm Randy Rainwater. Drive Time Sports will continue in just a moment.
Listen for Champs and Chumps on Fridays during The Zone. Brought to you by Ouachita Bar and Grill on Central Avenue in Hot Springs and BKC Home Builders, building premier homes in Hot Springs.
'Tis the season for winning at Saracen, featuring a gorgeous red Corvette Stingray. Play your favorite slots or table games to be included in this month's drawing for a Corvette Stingray.
Red Corvette and more. Red Corvette. That's what Christmas means to me, my love.
Play all December to win a red Corvette Stingray, and Merry Christmas from Saracen Casino.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
Mike Rowe here with a name everyone should know. Groundworks. The foundation and crawl space repair experts are coming soon to Little Rock. So if you've got a musty crawl space or cracks in your walls, these are the guys to call. And And right now, Groundworks is hiring for all positions. If you're looking for a career, Groundworks is the place to do it. You can go from installer to foreman in under a year and become an owner of the company you work for. Apply now at groundworks.com/careers.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details. Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Nugget bells, nuggets all the way.
Hi, I'm Kylie.
I'm John.
And I'm Garrison.
And a little thing we love about the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets
is sharing them when we cut down the Christmas tree.
We will pack the car with gifts, and of course, we go and pick up our family's favorite nuggets.
Every nugget is tasty times quadrillion.
And we get all the sides.
Yeah, the ooey gooey mac and cheese is a big hit.
Share the nuggets, share the joy. Order the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Hi, I'm Steve Edwards Jr. with Edwards Food Giant and Edwards Cash Saver. Christmas season is upon us, and with that comes all the typical hustle and bustle of the holidays. This Christmas, as you hang your stockings and sip the hot chocolate, take a moment to celebrate the true reason for the season. Love, hope, and joy brought to us on that first Christmas night. Share kindness, offer forgiveness, and embrace the love that came to us that holy night. From the entire team at Edwards, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I'm Allison Greenwood. I live in Pulaski County. I got a notice from my insurance carrier saying that my premium was going up to over $1,000 a month. My insurance agent called me and said, "Hey, Farm Bureau has a new product." I said, "Well, tell me more." In less than 24 hours, I was signed up with the Farm Bureau health plan, saving over $500 a month, and I was a happy girl.
Farm Bureau Health Plans of Arkansas. Learn more at arfbhealthplans.com.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish studios, where it's much like any of the 7 Eat My Catfish locations, minus the always fresh, delicious food options like the family pack catfish dinners. The #1 sports radio show in Arkansas, Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network.
Big weekend of championship football games coming up, NFL games, a lot of the games we're going to enjoy. And well, when game day comes, we love the football, the friends, the burgers, the food. We love everything, including keeping spending in check. That's important. And the Arkansas Problem Gambling Council helps fans stay on top of their finances, care for their mental health, and keep gambling responsible. Because when you're in control, every day feels like a win. And if you ever feel like you're losing yardage, there's always a team ready to help. And that team is the Arkansas Problem Gambling Council. You can call their confidential 24/7 helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER, or check them out on Facebook, or you can visit arpgcouncil.org for helpful resources.
And that is Rick Schaeffer. I'm Randy Rainwater, joined again by Kevin McPherson, better known as HoopScoop, courtesy of Hogville.net. Switching gears for just a moment, Kevin, I understand you were at today's press conference and formally introducing Ryan Silverfield as the head coach of the football Razorbacks.
Yeah, I was there today as most of the Arkansas Razorback sports media. I saw Rick Schaeffer, got a nod in his direction. Good to see Rick. Now I'm at Fayetteville High School. It's the Hoopin' on the Hill tournament. Some out-of-state teams here. But in addition to that, of course, you got the host Fayetteville Bulldogs, and you've also got Little Rock Christian Academy and one 5-star feature hog, J.J. Andrews. I reported this within the hour. Arkansas head coach John Calipari, associate head coach Ken Coleman will be in tonight. It is a late game, 8:30 start here at Fayetteville High School for J.J. Andrews, but they'll be in tonight to watch him play. And we know J.J.'s already signed with Arkansas, committed back in mid-May, signed a few weeks ago in the early period. But playing tonight, Friday night, and Saturday here in Fayetteville with Little Rock Christian, we know the Razorbacks will be in Central Arkansas on Saturday, probably coming down sometime tomorrow.
to play Fresno State in their annual Central Arkansas game there at Simmons Bank Arena in North Little Rock. So I'll be back Little Rock, probably getting home at around 3 a.m. This morning. And of course, I'll be covering the Razorbacks and close to home for me in North Little Rock there at Simmons Bank Arena on Saturday.
So, what was your thoughts of today's press conference involving Coach Ryan Silverfield?
Well, he to me came across as genuinely bought in already. I mean, you've heard that he wanted this job, and everything that he expressed today made me believe that he wanted this job. And maybe he had some other options. But I thought he was well-spoken. I thought that he said the right things. I mean, most coaches win the press conference. It doesn't always happen. We don't have to go back. We have to go back a little bit, but not. Most people remember the Dana Altman experience. So, huh?
When?
Huh? He was coach there for a day.
I'm just making noises.
Okay. I thought you were asking me who. I'm like, yeah.
No, I'm not saying who.
He had a cup of coffee and got out.
Okay. Anyway.
No, I thought he handled it well, and if you want to say he won the intro press conference, I think he did.
I thought he won. If it's necessary to win the press conference,
I thought he was very good. These days it's like, do you win the press conference? It's not as important as winning games, but I think he came across as someone that is ready to go right now, who wants to win right now. And I think the last coach, correct me if I'm wrong, Andy, certainly you would remember better than I would on this, who came in with that attitude of we're winning right now was Houston Nutt.
Mm-hmm.
And coming off a bad year. I don't think that any other coach has promised immediate turnaround. I don't think Sam Pittman did that after the Hogs had lost all their conference games 2 years in a row. But this guy, he fully expects to win next year. And we don't know yet who he's going to win with. We don't know. We don't know the roster, but he expects to have players here that will win next year.
Yeah. The other thing is one of my stronger impressions were, and this is he's got a low bar to cross to clear, because he talked about attention to detail and that the details matter, and playing smart and understanding the assignment, all those. I'm paraphrasing some of that. But given how bad Arkansas has been in the last few years with penalties and turnovers, it caught my attention that he understands that. He saw some of that firsthand when his team defeated Arkansas early in the season. But that's one of the things I think the culture of taking care of business is what he talked about, and that's how you begin to start getting better in those areas. And that'll be a point of emphasis. But I think. I have zero doubt that he's going to drive any players that he retains. He's got to get their mind right and get in a habit of winning habits, because as competitive as Arkansas was, they couldn't win. Once they won those first two games, they lost 10 straight, didn't win an SEC game, yet they were close. So there's quality on that roster still that he can, whoever he keeps, and we saw today Quincy Rhodes Jr., KJ Jackson, both of them in the press conference, and both of them kind of toward the end of it saying, I'm coming back. I thought that was also huge for this coach to get significant retention on both sides of the ball like that.
And he also emphasized, Kevin, about being more disciplined. Got to be disciplined. And I know a lot of folks have been really harping on that. Discipline. I was just looking through my notes that I made as he was talking. One of the other things that jumped out to me, and I think someone said he was actively involved with fundraising in the Memphis area. And he said, yes, I want to be a fundraiser. In fact, Yurchek made the comment after he'd talked to apparently a very influential booster after only 5 minutes, and Coach Silverfield walked away, and the guy turned to Yurchek and said, I'll make a  7-figure commitment right now. Well, is that not when you say 7 figures, is that
That's
not
at least
$1 million?
$1 million.
Yeah,
That's at
okay.
least $1 million, yes.
I thought my
Mhm.
math
Yeah.
was pretty correct there.
Yeah.
But and I
It's
understood.
at least $1 more.
Go ahead, Kevin.
No, that's all right. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go on, Andy.
No, I was just going to simply say, I mean, that's if you're talking about the willingness to go out in the community, because a lot of head football coaches nowadays, they really don't want to get involved in that fundraising. Rick kind of helped him along a little while ago earlier when he said, oh, by the way, there's a couple of Walton guys you might want to call on. But, yeah, hopefully that works out too. I thought it was also interesting, one other thing that in regards to changing the culture, we have changed the culture inside the studio here at 103.7 The Buzz, and that is, it is so bright in here now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And, well, I guess we need the culture change. I guess that's why I can see Dr. Google so good now.
Yeah.
But he wanted the light bulbs changed, and he was even willing to go to Walmart to go get the light bulbs if necessary.
Well, evidently he did, because he said he was changing the light bulbs.
Yeah.
So I guess he was up there at a time when there was nobody else in the building, so he was the only one that could change the light bulbs.
Yeah.
What a way to
But
change.
you might, if you're. No, I mean, look, he was asked, is there anything quirky about you that fans are going to learn? And that might be one of the things, that there's a little element of OCD. And one, Eric Patrick Melsman had his own little tics and OCD-isms.
Yeah.
And it worked for him, right? And I think you just never know. But, yeah, we're learning interesting stuff already about Silverfield that we didn't know.
Yeah.
That's the value of an hour-long press conference. You get asked a lot of questions, and you get a face-to-face with the coach. And I thought he and Hunter Yurchek both presented very well today. I didn't look at that and have it scratching my head in puzzlement, and that's not always been the case.
You know, nobody asked him point blank, because we get asked this earlier today about Petrino. If nobody asked him point blank if there was a coach any coaches he's considering retaining, and I was just sitting there thinking how awkward it must be, because those guys are still on salary, they're still on staff until he replaces them, so they're, I guess, sitting in their offices. I guess they are. I don't know, unless Hunter said, "Hey, you guys just, chill out until we let you know."
Yeah,
what's
have an
going
early
on."
vacation. Have a Merry Christmas.
Huh.
All right, Kevin, we'll talk with you next week. Kevin
Thanks,
McPherson,
guys.
better known as HoopScoop, courtesy of Hogville.net. Hour number 3, coming up next, the coach, the legend, Nolan Richardson.
Hi, folks. It's Chris Zender here at Frank Fletcher Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sherwood. When you're in the market for a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep or Ram, we hope you give us a chance to earn your business. Here's some things to consider. Fletcher Dodge has been family-owned dealer here in Sherwood for over 25 years. We know how to take care of our customers to keep them coming back. Every Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram dealer pays the same price for their vehicles. It's the dealer that makes the difference. We'll give you the best deal up front. No haggling, no arguing. We make it easy to buy a new vehicle, and we'll pay you more for your trade-in. Compare our deal to anybody's, and you'll buy from us. Come see us today for the deal of a lifetime on new Dodge Chrysler Jeep or Ram. At Frank Fletcher Dodge, you'll always get the best price, the lowest finance rate, and more for your trade. And we promise you a hassle-free buying experience. We want to be your dealer for life. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Just tell us what you're looking for and we'll make you a deal. Come see us in person at Fletcher Dodge on Warden Road in Sherwood, or shop online at FletcherDeals.com.
The Zone Hotline on 103.7 The Buzz is presented by Jim's Razor More.
Exclusive Razorback headquarters in Central Arkansas. KABC Little Rock. Buzz News with KARK's Gary Burton Jr.
Emergency repairs at the Dardanelle Lock and Dam are complete. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Little Rock District spent nearly 2 weeks working on it after a barge hit a gate. The lock had to be closed while crews assessed the damage and rushed to fix it. Navigation on the McClellan-Kerr Arkansas River system is now fully restored. UAMS is partnering with Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, and the response is already exceeding expectations. UAMS spent 2 years working on plans for the partnership and officially put it to action in August. Since then, they've enrolled almost every every baby born there, along with any siblings they have. The Imagination Library delivers one free book per month from the time a child is born until age 5. And this is important because nurses say that age range is critical for building literacy skills. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm KARK's Gary Burton Jr.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with KARK's Pat Walker.
Rain is likely today. Sleet and snow are possible here in central Arkansas, but here's the good news. It'll be above freezing all day long, so nothing will be sticking to the roads, but the roads will be wet. It's a 70% chance of precipitation, and it will have a high temperature today of 38 degrees. For the Buzz Radio Network, I'm meteorologist Pat Walker.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please, turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Thanks to folks at Arkansas Farm Bureau for hosting Roger and Baz at their 91st annual convention. Also want to thank Mark May, Darren McFadden, and Melinda Mayo for joining the show. And also thank you, the listener, for joining us. The guys are out in Hot Springs tomorrow with Steve Qualls for his fundraiser. The boys are back, Roger, Baz, and maybe a little bit of Justin as well, as they break down the weekend in football and high school, pro, and college. A preview of that all coming up 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on 103.7 The Buzz.
I'm Alan LeVar. For 25 years, my team and I have helped injury victims across Arkansas. This is our home. We don't work for insurance companies, we work for you. Car crash, truck wreck, motorcycle collision. We know how to win, and if you can't come to us, we'll come to you. Your consultation is always free and confidential. Hurt in the car? Call LeVar. Arkansas strong for 25 years and ready when you need us. LeVar Law. Arkansas built, Arkansas trusted.
Officer, could I get your perspective as a man of the law?
You know I'm a mall cop, right?
You see this Hyundai Santa Fe? I only paid for it.
Whoa.
Right? I'm not in trouble, am I?
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on all Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid models. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offer ends January 2nd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
When you've thrown over 4,000 innings like I have, you know joint pain isn't a maybe, it's a guarantee. For you, was it climbing ladders or too much heavy lifting? Hey, we're all in the same boat. But surgery, that was never my answer.
Baseball legend Roger Clemens knows there's a better way. That's QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself. No scalpels, no fake fixes, just real relief.
What I love about QC Kinetics, these are the most respected medical pros in the country that specialize in non-surgical therapies to get you moving again.
Don't mask the pain, fix it. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
I trusted QC Kinetics. You should too.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 501-214-5880. That's 501-214-5880. 501-214-5880.
Christmas isn't about what's under the tree. It's about making every moment special. Building memories that outlast the wrapping paper. Making the most of every acre. Teaching the next generation right. That's why Greenway is rolling out weekly offers on the gear that keeps you running and the John Deere gift that makes their eyes light up. This year, give a gift built for all things special to you.
This is Chris Roberts with Southern Bank. Your financial journey is unique to you. That's why we offer a variety of personal checking and savings accounts designed to work for your goals. Whether you're looking for low fees or great rewards, choosing the right checking account is easy at Southern Bank. Our products can help you save for your first home, a family vacation, or college education. And just as important, at competitive rates. To learn more about our personal banking option, visit bankwithsouthern.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
For over 30 years, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has been Arkansas's truck accessory headquarters and the only stop for all your truck parts and accessories. If it goes on a truck, Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse has got it. And that includes upgrading your truck with Vortex spray liners. Tough, durable, proudly made in the USA. Their spray liners can protect your truck for years to come. Call Pickup Truck Accessory Warehouse at 501-568-0040 to schedule your spray. Or stop by 65th and University.
Each day at the Arkansas School for Mathematics, Sciences, and the Arts begins with curiosity and ends with discovery. In labs, studios, and beyond, learning takes shape in bold ways. As a tuition-free residential high school, ASMSA brings together students from across Arkansas to live, learn, and grow in an early college community. ASMSA, where talent thrives. Begin your journey at asmsa.org/thrive.
Live from the Eat My Catfish studios, it's time for Arkansas's #1 collar-driven sports show. It's Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network with your hosts, Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaeffer. Lock it in and get ready to dial us up. Drive Time Sports is on the air.
Hour number 3 of Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network. Rick Schaeffer standing by in Northwest Arkansas. I'm Randy Rainwater from the capital city. In a moment, we'll be joined by the legend, Coach Nolan Richardson, thanks to Arkansas Municipal Equipment. But first thing to talk to you about Double B's. Championship action tonight at War Memorial Stadium. The 8-man championship coming up at 7 o'clock. That means on your way towards the game, you can always stop by your local Double B's. Make sure you pick up all the necessary items that you need. Maybe not the best out there tonight for tailgating, but okay, there's a full slate of games tomorrow. One at noon, one at 6:30 tomorrow night. And you can always stop right there at the corner of Fair Park and Markham. Right on the corner, they've got that Double B's, that legendary Double B's location. And also, let's see, Friday, tomorrow, they have the two-topping pizza special for $19.99. And it's kind of nippy out there. Maybe you want to get that Renoco cup of coffee while you're there. And you can always take advantage of some other great deals. But be sure on your way. And there's other games tomorrow night around the state. There's still some more playoff action, semifinal action getting ready for the next weekend. But it's Double B's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go make it Double B's.
Rolling with Nolan on Drive Time Sports is brought to you by Arkansas Municipal Equipment. Go to ametrucks.com. Arkansas Municipal Equipment. Service after the sale.
Coach, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Did you have a good time at Bud Walton Arena last night?
Absolutely. It's a good time when you can put that W on the board.
What'd you
That's what they were able to do.
What'd you like most about the Razorbacks last night?
Well, the kids play hard. I like the way they play. Their defense was really pretty dynamic last night in that half-court defense. I enjoyed the Brazil kid. I just think he has such an up about the way he plays on both ends. There's no question that Cal is getting ready. So that, you're going to have games where it looks like you're not playing as well. You score not well, but they scored some points last night. And I can't do nothing but get better. And I enjoyed that.
In football all year, they were talking about the Hogs didn't finish well. In this game, they saw a 20-point lead get down to 5, but then they finished well. How important was that for that team?
Excuse me. That's very important to finish. That is the most important part of the game is how you finish it. Excuse me.
It's all right, Coach.
Not how you start a game, because you can start it horrible and sometimes you can start it great. It's how you finish. And coming down the stretch, there's some teams beat themselves And instead of the opponent beating them, they beat themselves because they start making mistakes. Here, things begin to happen. And if you can, you know, you got to weather the storm also. Just because you're up 20, you know, you got 3-point shots now. That's not very. That's 6 field goals, really, about 18. You know, so you're not safe, really, in any part of the game. So you got to, to me, you got to continue to play till you reach that part where it's just you against the clock. You no longer have the opponent. I think that's a good thing that was being able to be done last night.
Coach, you were known to start virtually any player at any given time, but yet you did have pretty much a starter or starting rotation that you would rely upon. My question to you is, how do you know? How did you figure out what kind of measurement or benchmark or whatever it was? How did you determine who was better starting and then who was better coming off the bench? I'm looking at the example I'm looking for is Billy Richmond. This young man brings instant energy, and sometimes he is a little bit of a bull in a china cabinet, but he gets things done. He is right now what I'd say the perfect sixth man. But how did you know who was better starting and who was better coming off the bench?
In that position, Roger Crawford.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't even know about him, but Roger Crawford was 6'4", quick as all the guards, could outrun him. And we looked at practice every day. In most cases, in most schools, he would be considered a starter. He's a sixth man for me, but the sixth man is a starter.
Mm-hmm.
So he's the first man in the ball game, basically. And when he goes in, he takes a different part of the game with him. You take him out of the game, and you can see some of it change because he was a runner, and that's probably the way Goodman's kid is. You can tell, not necessarily in the game, but in your practices, who matches together, who comes in and makes the team better. Just because you start 5 doesn't make the team better. Maybe the 6th, 7th, or 8th man that gets in the game can change the game. I think the real key is, who do you trust? It's all about trust. They trust the coach and they trust me to making decisions of who should be playing with one another. That's the difference.
Yeah, I love looking at. They now put all these. I know, they're different combinations, different mix and matches, but I like to see who has blended the best together, because that ultimately, I would think, would be the team. Would you not, Coach, that you want on the floor at the end to finish the right way?
I didn't hear the last part.
It's all right. I'm just simply saying the mixing and matching, you want to know who you want on the floor at the end so that you do finish correctly.
Absolutely. I mean, you can play a lot of people, but at some points in the game, you might not be able to play that same person you played the night before because of the style of play, maybe because of the physicality, because of the speed, because of, the game changes, and it changes when you substitute, and then the opponent also, the game changes when they substitute. There's some guys, for example, I can go back to Lee Mayberry. If he wasn't on the floor at times, we're in kind of trouble with taking care of the ball. With him in the game, he may not have a turnover for 4 or 5 games. They don't know what that is all about. So you're going down the stretch, you're looking at free throw shooting. There's some guys that can really play, but they can't shoot free throws. And do you want him in the game going down the stretch? Maybe not.
No.
I'd rather have somebody can, when they foul him, he's got a chance to knock down a couple of them. In the championship game, when I believe Al Dillard took shots for Corey Beck, and then when you got injured, you could have a guy to go in and shoot free throws. I chose Dillard. Dillard knocked him down. Here's a guy that might be your ninth man coming in to shoot huge free throws. So it's all about trust, and it's all about the kid having the faith in himself and knowing that this is very important for the team.
I tell you, Coach, this looks like a team that's going to shoot free throws pretty well, and they take advantage of that. They had a whopping advantage on the line last night, and that was a major factor in winning the game.
That free throw line is a monster. Boy, if you master that, you're going to win a lot of games. If you can keep the opponent off the line, you will. That was our problem, Rick, is that we couldn't keep them off the line because we're so aggressive. And that's why I thought teams they didn't play us the way they played other teams. Our game was just put on the boxing gloves and let's go play. That's the way I thought of the game anyway.
The Southeastern
again.
Yeah, Coach. The Southeastern.
Say that again.
Oh, the Southeastern Conference is so good. It's so loaded. How good is it for Arkansas to be playing games like Duke and Louisville to get ready for the conference season?
Oh, I think it's great. I not only think it's great for Arkansas, it's great for the conference when you got so many of them that can go to the NCAA tournament. And not only can they go, they can make a big hit. It wouldn't be surprised if one of the teams didn't win a national championship year after year. It's some good basketball teams in the Southeast Conference. Very, very good. And so when you're playing the best and you come out on top, there's no better confidence builder than playing the types of teams that'll give you that confidence. I don't see the playing game where you beat them 50 and 60 points really helps you. It shows you that you're just so much superior than the team you brought in just to fill a game spot.
All right, gentlemen, we got at least one caller. Let's talk with Lomax. Lomax, good evening. You have a question or comment for Coach Richardson?
I do. Hey, Rick, Randy. Hey, Coach Nolan. How you guys doing?
Doing great. Thank you, Lomax.
Okay.
Hey, Coach, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. It's always a pleasure to talk to Rick and Randy as well. But, I want to talk about the game. I thought the game was pretty decent. We had a pretty good game plan, and I think Rick alluded to the free throws kind of helped us out and everything. But I'm concerned, fellas. And I'm concerned because, I saw the other, last few non-conference games that we had, and I was a little bit, thinking about coaching and Coach Richardson. I know I don't want to be ad nauseum and talk about, like, what would you have done, but I'm concerned, and I just kind of wanted to get your play on it, and Rick and Randy, if you guys want to chime in on it, but I don't know, fellas. I'm a little concerned. I know it was a good win, but
Lomax, what are you concerned about?
Well, I'm concerned about our style of play. I don't like our style of play. I don't think that it's going to really hold up with the talent that we have. So, it's great, but I just don't know. Because we blew. We should have put up 100 and blew them out the gym.
Well, they're pretty good. 6th in the country. It's not like you were playing. Just like Coach Richardson just said, it's not like you're playing North Dakota Central. Louisville was number 6 in the country, and they beat Kentucky bad. They beat Kentucky worse than Arkansas beat Louisville. And so you're saying Arkansas should have scored 100 against that team?
Well, I'm not saying it's premise is not just scoring 100. It's just we gave up a lot of things, and we exposed ourselves as well.
They were 8
because when we couldn't get ready to play, I mean.
But they were, Lomax, they were 8 for 37 from 3-point range, and 3-point defense had been a problem. But it was great last night. Arkansas out-rebounded them like all over the place, and that had been a problem.
By 10.
That had been a problem until last night. So I'm with Randy. What are you concerned about?
Well, the 8 for 37. You live by 3, you die by 3. They had more inside points than us.
Well, they did have more points in the paint. I'll give you that. 42 to 34. They didn't have that.
What?
Fellas, in the SEC, we can't have that. We cannot have that.
Okay.
Well, do you like the fact that Arkansas had 27 to 9 second chance points? One thing that I Coach, you have to.
I do.
Coach, do you like the fact? I mean, Coach Cal, I think he's right at 100%. That one play that he drew up after the timeout, the foul, then they went to the media timeout. He got Billy Richmond on a bunny right there underneath the basket. I mean, there wasn't a player within 3 feet of him, 4 feet of him. I mean,
and Randy, that was great energy. I loved it. I loved it, but we got to do better than that. We're going to win. Yeah, we beat the number 16, but we were due for that. We were due for that, but we lost it.
All right, Lomax. I was whining about this, and Rick jumped all over me, and I know we're excluding Coach Richardson, so thank you. I'll get this. I'll let Coach talk in a moment. All right, Coach. I had whined about Rick just jumped all over me as if I had flea and ticks, but I was saying Arkansas was getting taken to the woodshed, and what I meant by that was they were getting at times physically whipped. I thought last night Arkansas played like a man. They didn't get pushed around. That showed on the boards. They won by 10 on the boards, but they were physical without excessive fouling. And I thought that was critical to the game. And Coach Cal even pointed out Malik Ewing. He had to show him video of what he looked like when he had played previously against Louisville. He showed up last night with 12 points, 9 rebounds, all critical, including 6 of 8 from the line. So what is there to gripe about right now, Coach? Help me out here. Even I can't find something to gripe about.
I kind of understand what he's talking about. Actually, he's talking about tempo of the game. You know, he's saying that to me that it's good we'll win with one ball game, but I have a concern that it may not be that next time around. But you can't worry about the next time around. The next time around is already there. You're either going to play, in most cases, fast or faster, or you're going to walk it and try to get into a half-court offense. What happens, though, is if you get into the half-court game, it becomes a passing, shoot 35-foot, 3-point shot. You hardly you don't get as many layups or opportunities to just walk away with freebies in a style that almost all the teams play. There's no 10-2 run, 15-1 run. The fans have played a very important part, but you got to keep the fans in the game. If you get you some back-to-back baskets and then come down and give up a dunk, well, there goes all the glamour of what you got the fans up all about. They got to keep them in the game. If you keep them in the game, then you get what he's asking. Tempo, free throw shooting, everything comes into play. I know what I'm saying. Maybe being able to go out and execute that. That's why they paid me. Because and most of the time we could execute it.
All right, Coach, we got Cowboy Ron. He's got a question for you. Ron, question or comment for Coach Richardson?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How y'all doing this evening?
Doing great. Thank you, Ron.
Hope y'all had a happy Thanksgiving, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, sir.
I still go back and watch that 94 game, and it tickles me to this day when you can hear it over the TV, Coach Richardson hollering, help him, help him, help him. But what I want to know is, Coach, can you recall how many technical fouls you have gotten and how many times you've been kicked out of a game?
You know what? I stopped counting when I got to the 7th grade coaching.
That's a good answer. Great answer.
I have no clue. You know,
no clue. Okay.
Man.
Thank you, Ron.
I'm trying to think. Have you ever been? I don't think you were ever. Were you ever thrown out of a game at Arkansas? You know, the game at Texas where you walked out, it was because you were upset, but you weren't.
Maybe you had to go to the bathroom. You had to take a break.
Okay.
Were you ever thrown out of? Were you ever actually? Did you get 2 technical fouls in any games and have to leave? I can't remember.
Yeah, I had. Matter of fact, one night when with Todd Davis' team, we're pretty good against Florida at home. I didn't get to see he scored. I think he broke a record, broke one of the records of 50 or something. But I was in the dressing room. I didn't get to see that, so I know I've been out of 1 or 2 of the games. But even on my own, I don't know. Me and the officials, we just didn't see eye to eye, and they normally won. they won every battle. I've never won one of them. So, they had the gun. So I had to do what they asked me to do, and that's leave the floor.
Strolling with Nolan. Hang on, Coach. Drive Time Sports will continue in a moment.
Anywhere in the state, dial 888-8888 for Rainwater, Holton, Sexton. They'll help you weather the storm. Want to get in on the conversation? Shoot us a text at the D3 Auto Sales text line at 501-614-1037. D3 Auto Sales in Desart, the #1 independent dealer in the state, with the best prices and largest selection on pre-owned vehicles, including leveled and lifted trucks. Find them on Facebook. Whether it's football, baseball, or basketball, from high school to the pros, hit us up on the D3 Auto Sales text line.
Hi, I'm Steve Edwards Jr. with Edwards Food Giant and Edwards Cash Saver. Christmas season is upon us, and with that comes all the typical hustle and bustle of the holidays. This Christmas, as you hang your stockings and sip the hot chocolate, take a moment to celebrate the true reason for the season. Love, hope, and joy brought to us on that first Christmas night. Share kindness, offer forgiveness, and embrace the love that came to us that holy night. From the entire team at Edwards, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Hi, it's Frank Fletcher from the Fletcher Dodge store here in Sherwood. Folks, if you're shopping for a new car or truck, I hope you'll come see us and give us a chance to earn your business. We have huge discounts, 0% financing available, and we'll give you $1,000 over Kelly Blue Book value for your trade-in. Folks, I guarantee you a hassle-free buying experience. And if you've had credit problems in the past, listen to this. We have an easy pre-approval process. Just go to FletcherCredit.com to get started. You can be pre-approved in minutes. It's also still buying cars every day. If you got an old car or truck you want to turn into cash, bring it to Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood and ask for Chris or Andy. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Shop in person or shop online at FletcherDeals.com. Thank you.
Willie D's Rock and Roll Piano Bar open every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Cold drinks and dueling pianos. Deep Nightclub downstairs hosts karaoke on Tuesdays and DJs spin on Friday and Saturday nights. Visit WillieD'sPianoBar.com.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Walk right through the door. It's all here to explore. With guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Drink responsibly, B21. 103.7 The Buzz is your home for Arkansas Razorback basketball. Coverage is brought to you by Blackman Auctions, Arkansas Scholarship Lottery, Malvern National Bank, Edwards Food Giant, Crain Hyundai, and Genesis of Conway.
Live from the Eat My Catfish studios, you feed your crave for sports by listening to Drive Time Sports. Much like you feed your crave at any of the 7 Eat My Catfish locations. It's gut check time. Drive Time Sports is back on the Buzz Radio Network.
The financial professionals at First Security are big fans of Arkansas. That's because they're Arkansas-owned and Arkansas-focused. They take care of communities just like they take care of customers. Whatever better means to you, you're going to find more of it at First Security. As Arkansas's community bank, First Security is all about taking care of customers and making life better right here in Arkansas. So more people can buy a home, run a business, and a whole lot more. Check them out at fsbank.com. That's First Security Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, only in Arkansas. That's First Security Bank.
Rolling with Nolan on Drive Time Sports is brought to you by Arkansas Municipal Equipment. Go to ametrucks.com. Arkansas Municipal Equipment. Service after the sale.
All right, Rick Schaeffer. I'm Randy Rainwater, joined now by Steve. Steve, good evening, I should say. It's dark out there. Good evening. Do you have a question or comment for Coach Richardson?
Yeah, I do. Hey, Coach.
How you doing?
I was wondering, do you ever hear from Andy Stoglin and Scott Edgar anymore?
Well, we lost Coach Stoglin and Andy. He passed away this year.
Oh man,
Scotty, I just talked to Scotty. He's doing well. He lives up in Missouri.
Yeah, because to me, when Scotty and Andy left, it seems like that took your right hand away because, you know, Mike still did a good job, but seems like when you had all three of them, you could get anybody you wanted to in the country.
I wish that was true, but we did our best in recruiting. You have to be a.
But that's all I got, guys. And talk to you later. And have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And same to you, Coach.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. Same to you.
Now, what were you saying, Coach? I didn't quite hear your answer about when he said you could get anybody you wanted anywhere in the country. Could you?
No, he said that I could go. We could go and get any player in the country. I don't agree on that. We got the best we could. Like I always would say, you know, we didn't get the McDonald's All-American, so we got all Burger King. So the good part about it, they kind of match together. You know, sometimes guys get together and they do bond, and they're pretty close on the floor and off the floor. And I had quite a few of those teams like that.
let's see this from our D3 Auto Sales Bus text line from Meat Pig, M-E-A-T, Meat Pig. I feel guilty for getting this time with Coach without a prepay.
Without a prepay?
I guess that means we have to pay for it.
No,
Or he should be paying for it.
He should be paying for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, Coach, they think you're so good they should be paying to listen to you. That's pretty good, huh?
That's real good.
Would you accept? People can send money in, just send it straight to Nolan. How's that?
It's prepaid. It is prepaid. Coach,
what is prepaid? Now, I couldn't.
That means they should pay to listen because you're so good.
Yeah.
And radio's free. It's free for our listeners, and he's saying it's so good that they ought to pay for it.
That's right.
Pretty interesting.
That is right.
I think we pay for enough in this world, don't we? It was a compliment, Coach. Yeah, it was a compliment. They think you're really good, which is nice. Very nice.
Well, I appreciate that.
All right, Coach, if you can, and I can only imagine, I've sat down on the floor before, and, of course, Rick, for all those years, was doing the radio broadcast with Mike Nell. What is it like, from a coach's perspective, that atmosphere that you talked about it earlier? You know, you got the crowd roaring, then you make a defensive lapse, and you get a dunk on the other end, and all of a sudden it just disappears. What is it like, though, from your perspective, being on the floor? I always felt like it was going to be impossible to replace the atmosphere in Barnhill, but Bud Walton just took it to another level. What was it like from your perspective, the atmosphere, that feeling inside Bud Walton?
Well, you can say about Bud, but Barnhill and Rocking was unbelievable what he could do, and to me, that's what got it all going. There was games in that building that I had headaches the whole night after the game because of the loudness and the voice. As we moved over to, you took that atmosphere, we took it with us, and you'd be surprised how players can play to the tune of a fan. Some days we have at our practices quite a few people, and they're talking and everything. I never said they close the practice so they can't come in, lock the doors, or we're doing some secret. I invited them to come and practice and watch, and then they can make decisions on whether or not I did the right thing in practice. Did I take the practice to the game with me? But the atmosphere, right? You'd be surprised how many of the players, even though Arkansas hasn't been as dominant as it's been at home, didn't like to come to Bud Walton. No. We wanted our house to be untouchable, and it was for many years. So you can, of course, that's the only one I knew. Eddie Sutton did a magnificent job of giving basketball in a small little community the excitement that it brought. It was amazing, and it just grew. And then the fans grew. And the style of play changed. At first, it was rough for me trying to rip and run and execute. Everybody thought it was running gun. It's just a different style of the game. And trapping and pressing and diving on the floor, taking charges, all those things the fans enjoyed. And they came out and supported. And that's the bottom line, fan support. And we had the greatest fans in the country.
You could hear it last night over television.
Yeah, they were good.
The roar that kept. I was listening primarily by way of radio. I rarely, if ever, turn on the television sound. So I was just listening to the crowd, and Arkansas would make a big play, and that place would explode. And I'll give the crowd credit, Coach, down the stretch when those players needed that kind of support the most. When I think Louisville pulled within 5, I believe they're towards the end, that crowd was roaring and helped bring that crowd or bring that team to the finish line.
Hearing them chant SEC, SEC was pretty nice.
I don't think Nolan. I don't think Coach Cal liked the fact when they started saying overrated.
Yeah, overrated. Yeah, there's a nice video of that.
I hate that. You know why? And, Coach, you might agree or disagree. When you're telling that the other team's overrated, you are not giving your team full credit for what they're doing.
Yeah, you're right about that.
If Louisville was overrated, then that wasn't any big deal. They were number 6 in the country. They're good.
All right, gentlemen, let's talk with T. T, good afternoon. You have a question or comment for Coach Richardson?
Yes, I do. Hey, it's great to talk to you guys. A long-time listener, first-time caller.
Well, thank you.
Coach, I just wanted to ask you a question. Now, you might have to, think back hard on this one, but it has to do with a Wednesday night game back in the day in the 90s. I'm sure I can't remember when it was, but I'm with my mom. I'm trying to get her to hurry back home from Wednesday night Bible class to catch the end of the game. And, of course, I'm listening to Mr. Schaeffer on the radio, and in the background, I can hear you yelling, I believe it was the phrase, Jesse James has left the building. Jesse James has left the building. And I can hear Mr. Schaeffer say, yeah, you can hear Nolan working the ref. And I just thought that was so funny. My question is, what are the instances where you would say things like that to the refs?
Hey, can you
hang up and listen?
Rick, repeat something.
Thank you, T.
I couldn't.
He's asking if you had any other clever sayings besides Jesse James has left the building.
Oh, you catch me at the wrong time, man. I could come up. I could come up with some doozies. And I even ask myself, "What the hell are you saying?"
That's a pretty good one, though, Coach. Jesse James has left the building. I love it.
Yeah, well, back in the old days, when we were youngsters, there was all kinds of little chants out there, and that was one of them. Jesse was an outlaw, and so the official became outlaw, and so you can come up with the saying of Jesse James just left the building. I mean, he was cheating for the other team. No, there's many of them. It takes me a week of trying to put them all together. Now that I've tried to forget that I was that brutal.
That was part of the game, though, Coach. That if a coach didn't fight for his team, then you didn't feel like the coach was trying. I mean, that's kind of the way I always looked at it. But my coach was going to stand up for me, whether he was totally right to do it or not. He was standing up for his team. I mean, do you not agree? There were times you probably got a technical foul, and it was only because you were standing up for your team?
All of it was.
Hold on, Coach. We're going into a break. Save that thought.
Hold on, Coach. Hold on. All right, Rick Schaeffer. I'm Randy Rainwater. That is the coach, the legend. Coach Nolan Richardson, thanks to Arkansas Municipal Equipment. We'll come back and wrap it up in a moment. Drive Time Sports will continue after this.
At EatMyCatfish, fall is our favorite time of the year, and football season isn't the only thing making a comeback. Available now, our famous shrimp gumbo and Cajun boudin balls make their return to the menu. Order online at EatMyCatfish.com. Eat local, eat fresh, Eat My Catfish.
Hey, it's David Basil from my good friends at Bath Fitter. I've been working with Bath Fitter for over a decade now. They're a family-owned business that's been around for over 40 years. They are the pioneers of the acrylic bath industry. Bath Fitter offers a one-of-a-kind remodeling process that's easy and stress-free. They offer a wide selection of beautiful and functional showers, and with their seamless one-piece walls and hundreds of design options, you can refresh your shower space in no time. They can even convert your existing bath into a shower. Check them out online at bathfitterlittlerock.com and tell them Basil sent you.
Christmas isn't about what's under the tree. It's about making every moment special. Building memories that outlast the wrapping paper. Making the most of every acre. Teaching the next generation right. That's why Greenway is rolling out weekly offers on the gear that keeps you running and the John Deere gift that makes their eyes light up. This year, give a gift built for all things special to you.
All right, folks, it's that time of year. It's cold outside, which means it's time for court sports. We're talking tennis, pickleball, basketball, all those sports that you can play indoors. Don't let nagging pain affect your ability to enjoy your sports time. QC Kinetics is here to help. QC Kinetics here in Little Rock is going to help you build your body's comeback story, powered by the very cells that built you in the first place. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery. Just your body remembering how to feel alive again. With QC Kinetics, healing is within reach. And guess what? Those sports I was mentioning earlier are a bit more fun when you're performing well and you're winning. QC Kinetics will help you get back to those winning ways. Schedule your free consultation today. It's a great time to do it, to use your HSA and FSA for treatments. Call 501-214-5880. That's 501-214-5880. Call QC Kinetics to schedule your free consultation today.
The electric cooperative's got its start lighting Arkansas, and we continue to meet that demand with every resource we can deliver. We're powering your life where you live every single day through one of 17 local cooperatives, each unique, always united, and in your community. Our mission? To provide reliable, affordable, and responsible power to every corner of Arkansas. It's the local hometown cooperative way, because we're better connected together. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas.
Injured? There's only one number you need to know. 888-8888.
At Rainwater, Holton, Sexton, no case is too big and no insurance company too strong.
Just dial 888-8888.
Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton.
Now, back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish studios. Eat fresh, eat local, eat my catfish. You've got Drive Time Sports locked in on the Buzz Radio Network. Here is Randy Rainwater.
Add some sparkle to the holidays with a Robert Irwin Jewelers gift. Whether you're celebrating one of life's biggest milestones, like an engagement, or simply making the holidays unforgettable, Robert Irwin Jewelers has the perfect gift for your loved one. I picked out two. One of these I'm getting for my bride. A tennis bracelet. It's one of the hottest gifts of the season. Get a stunning 3-carat lab-grown diamond tennis bracelet for just $11.99. Limited time only, while supplies last. And right now you'll also get a free pair of matching diamond stud earrings. Second option, dazzle her. Light up the room with a 10-carat lab-grown diamond tennis bracelet. Brilliant, timeless, sparkling end-to-end, and priced to impress only at $39.99. Make it a magical Christmas engagement. You can choose from handcrafted engagement rings and unique Tindy styles that she'll adore, such as the hidden halos, the 3-stone designs, and the classic solitaires. Shop now, 12 months interest-free financing, or take up to 60 months to pay. Opens Sundays through Christmas. That's important. Open Sundays through Christmas. And visit any of our 2 locations, the Pleasant Ridge Town Center, next to the Fresh Market off of Cantle Road, or McCain Mall in North Little Rock. Bigger, brighter diamonds, better prices. Robert Irwin Jewelers, online at rijewelers.com.
Rolling with Nolan on Drive Time Sports is brought to you by Arkansas Municipal Equipment. Go to ametrucks.com. Arkansas Municipal Equipment. Service after the sale.
Now, Coach, I know you probably didn't ever mean to draw a technical foul, but I'm guessing sometimes you meant to, though, to protect your team, take up for your team.
Well, yeah, you definitely is going to take up for your team, and then intentionally, I may have gotten one. One night we played so bad that I wanted to be thrown out the game. But that was my junior college days. I'm saying, like, goodness sake. We're playing a team, and it looked like his brother and his uncle was calling the game. And the reason I think I got so upset is because at halftime I'm going through the building and I see the officials talking to the coach, and they're asking how the family is doing. we're in the heat of a battle. To me, nothing is important when we have a game other than the game.
Very well said, Coach. All right, here is John. John, good evening. Do you have a question or comment for Coach Richardson?
Coach Richardson, I just want to say how much I revere you, sir. I grew up in East Texas in the 90s, and I was in high school the year the 94 national championship year, and I was the talk of the high school because everybody was just so excited. And my dad sent off that night, I think they had made some shirts in Texarkana, so he got me a shirt overnighted, so I got to wear it in high school the next day. And, man, everybody's like, where did you get that shirt? And I was just so proudful. And all those years, man, it was just so awesome to have that. My dad and I bonded over those games and just how awesome it was. It's such a privilege to talk to you, and I just want to tell you how much you meant to me and still do. And those Arkansas Razorback teams were just beyond special. So that's all I wanted to say, and I really do revere you, Coach, and thank you for everything that you have done for the state of Arkansas. All right.
Thank you for those. Thank you for those.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. Thanks, John. I appreciate that.
All right, Coach, this is from our D3 Auto Sales Buzz text line. Hey, Randy, this is Lewis. Great to hear Coach on there. But Rick is right. When they shouldn't have been chanting was underrated because there's no way that we should be ranked as low as we were when we lost to a Michigan State team on their court by only 3 points.
Yeah.
And had a 7-point lead on Duke with a couple of minutes to go before losing that game.
Well, I don't know if that's something Coach needs to respond. It's just right. You shouldn't call another team underrated or overrated, and maybe Arkansas was underrated. You're right, because of the 2 losses were losses to very good teams away from home.
But Duke was number 4, I think, at the time Arkansas played.
Yeah.
Now, Duke, if I remember correctly, Michigan State was at that time rated lower than Arkansas was when they won, but it was on their home court.
And I don't think they've lost. And Duke beat Florida the other night by 1. Good ball game.
Heck of a game.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you watched some of the other SEC teams, Coach? Is the league as good this year as it was last year?
I guess I saw Kentucky play, Florida play. I've seen, I think, Auburn play. A&M.
And what do you think of the overall quality of the league?
Oh, that's what I said earlier. That there are no chopped liver, and there are no gimmies. You know, some of the games years ago, you know, you circle that with possible win. You circle that. I don't see no circling. And now you got to play all of it. And you better expect a new team that will enter the court. You usually have some sense of the player and their team, but with the way the rules are, you can transfer. You can. It's got it where it's going to be a team that'll win a national championship. It's all about how they recruit it and who you can get to play together as a team, because talent, it's there on all the teams. Talent is there.
Gets down to a play here or there. In fact, Coach talking about that Florida Duke game, former Razorback, Boogie Flan, who helped lead the comeback. If he doesn't dribble the ball off of his foot out of bounds, that turnover, Florida may have managed to win the game. We'll never know. But comes down to that one play.
I tell you, Rick, the quality of play is unbelievable. Last year was good. 14 teams get to go to the NCAA. Well, if they would match that or go better, and the possibility is there. But at the same time, these other teams in the other leagues, they have strengthened also. So just because we've gotten strong, that doesn't mean that the opponents haven't gotten strong. You can't compare this score against this score, and this team beat this team by this many, and we beat them by one. You got to play each game as 0-0. And the more you play that way, the more you're going to be able to take from what you have lost on the road or at home to play with. Then it becomes a confidence. Once it becomes, a confident game that you feel that you're supposed to win, that's where I want to try to get the Razorbacks. They're supposed to win. It ain't if we win. This is automatic. This is what we've made. This is what we put our hat on. And I think because they play so many good teams, you can get to that position a lot earlier now than you could a bunch of teams that you can win by 50 points.
Yeah, you'd love the next game. This case, Arkansas playing Fresno State. You like another quality matchup, and I'm not saying Fresno State won't be that, but you don't want to look at the front of that uniform. You want to get ready for conference play. Coach, as always, it is a great pleasure to have you with us. Thanks to Arkansas Municipal Equipment. We will talk with you next week. Thank you, Coach. Coach Nolan Richardson. For Rick Schaeffer, I'm Randy Rainwater. Stay tuned. Coming up next, the 8-man football championship.
I think we better split up.
Good idea.
Yeah, we can do more damage that way.
103.7 The Buzz, KABZ.